Hey everyone, welcome to the final stream, I think, of Cerulean Crescent. How y'all doing? Hi Boltax, Ubly, Elico, Draco Zombie, Sanin. You already tell me the audio's good. Well, only tell me if it's good. If it's bad, also tell me, but don't tell me it's good if it's bad. Hi Hobbs. Yeah, we got a decision to make, alright. Can't say I expected this ending completely. I expected some kind of conflict, but not like this. Not on this scale. I did show off what happens for both picks last stream, but I thought I'd do a quick go over as you're talking about this. Tower's like, yeah, what Ellery just did to Yalunzar, that's probably not going to be the last time that something like that happens. She's going to expand everywhere. We got to stop her. And this is where we kind of find out that Oriana is the perspective of who we see the ending through, I guess. April Fool's, okay. Better make sure I don't stream on April Fool's then. Hi, Anada. Hi, Dogachino. Yes, the third endgame stream. And why can I not? Is it not our duty as adventurers to protect the people of the Crescent? Even if it's from overambitious chieftains. Guilan's words hold a measure of truth. We cannot treat the human conflicts of the Crescent as beneath our notice. Tower, this is a very extreme reaction. You pass judgment on the sect for their misdeeds. Here, we see death and devastation easily 10 times this size. But we do not refer to mere renegades overtaken by zeal and cowardice. This is Ellery, chieftain of Irinde, our ally. Are your principles so frail that they will so easily collapse against a personal connection? I consider her a valued companion, despite a rocky relationship. She's aided us often. That should not outweigh the need to do what is right. Tower, are you sure you're not being blinded by your own bias? That Ellery seems to enjoy her alliance with those Lightwalkers? That she has no love for the sect given her experiences? That's irrelevant to the core issue, that Ellery cannot be trusted with sovereignty over the Crescent. You yourself told me about how Ellery called upon the invaders. We don't know for sure if that wasn't just deception meant to divide us. And why would the lady of the house need to fool some common adventurers? It fits far too well with her methods, which we've seen time and time again. Exploiting a common enemy to consolidate her own power. You should be well aware of what lengths she is willing to go for her ambitions. You see the consequences of that before your very eyes. Even so, this is the first time the Crescent has had any hope of unity in decades. You suggest we ruin that shot at peace. The peace brought about by the blood of Yalunzar's citizens? What use is unity when it is in the grasp of a despot? Ellery has made no secret of her bitterness towards the mainland. There is no doubt in my mind that she desires further conflict, and when she does, it will be the blood of the Crescent fueling it. I am not ignorant of the fact that this will have harsh consequences, but inaction is far more damning. It might be peace through blood, but it would still be peace. Even if the Crescent was broken and unified again, how can we know the next will be more hopeful? Are you truly so cynical that you believe the Crescent will never have a liberator who is less twisted than Ellery? I'd rather have a self-satisfied dictator without the propensity to gamble the whole Crescent in their aimless hunger. We've danced around this, but I'm sure you haven't forgotten about Crinio. If we were to open conflict against Ellery, where would that put her? You know how much she looks up to Ellery and her stake in all this. I do not wish to be driven to this, but this goes far beyond the happiness of one person. Even if it is my granddaughter. Crinio can recover. The future of the Crescent cannot. Trace Crinia's dad. What a plot twist. I will hear no more of this if it's for the Crescents. So, my feelings on this is like if you wanted to go with like a canonical answer, I don't think there really can be one. I think Oriana as a character could pretty much go either way. I do think Tower is pretty convincing in his arguments, but you know, Oriana is fairly not wishy-washy, but she's very clearly attached to both sides of the argument here, right? With the boomerang sword, I have no idea. I think, I mean, I didn't get one, did I? Did I get one in the end? I don't remember. Anyway. So, I asked chat what you thought, and it's literally 50-50 right now if I end the poll right here. Like, look at that. Literal 50-50. Which is insane. So, me personally, I'm super attached to Ellery's character, and if it were just based on, like, who I like the most, whose writing I like the most, then I would let Ellery survive, just because I like her more than Tower and Oriana. Slightly more, I think they're all good characters. If it's about bringing justice to the Crescent and doing what is morally correct within the confines of the story, I do think, as Oriana, you do have an obligation to, you know, say if it's Sword of Crescent. You know what I mean? Because it does feel like Tower makes some good points. You didn't vote? You had all day! I don't know how long your day has been. If you're American, it's been a little shorter than for me. I had all day to vote. What do we do in the tie? I don't actually know. Is it a tie? I mean, it's 34 votes, 50-50, so it is a tie. I mean, we're going to do both anyway. Great, visit YouTube chat. That is fair. I did only pull YouTube chat. I don't know what Twitch would do. I also don't have Twitch open. We're doing both anyway. Anyway, so that means we're doing this first, right? I will hear no more of this. I wanted to tell you, Guard said she's a super soldier, but then she just said she lied and she's the daughter of a blacksmith. But to put it in perspective, for some reason, everyone from our village are very strong. Potato, the simple farmer, capped guy. He who chops is probably a lumberjack who's supposed to be stronger than the villagers. This person in the village, you guessed it, blacksmith. Did we meet blacksmith? Flip a coin. I can flip a coaster. Does that count? We've been over the convos though. So let us. I mean, what happens from here is very straightforward. Tower and a couple of allies and Oriana fight to beat Ellery down. And I think the true ending should be where they cut Ellery down for us. So we're going to do the other way first, which means we're doing Ellery first. Where is it? Here we are. So they're chilling on the coast and they get ambushed by people here, as you're about to see. I did some item preps. They're probably not optimal, but we'll just have to roll with what we have. You also get huge chops and potato. Huh. Our target is within reach with such a measly escort. This demagogue, this... Silence. Everyone move. I thought we were the only squad coming this way. Huh, that's Tower. Wait, is that Maurice? Oh, Ellis. Maurice, the dog who fled with his tail between his legs at Irene's might? Why does he dare show his face here? That is a good question. They don't march towards us with friendly intent. I feared. I can't believe this is happening. Well, I can, and I didn't even consider it. But not so soon, not so close to our victory. How can they be so quick to turn on me? If they really turn traitor, come 1 or 100, I will cut down everyone that approaches you. Chief, you have nothing to fear. Did we not have guards watching the perimeter? How could such a force have slipped through? I thought they were all part of Oriana's crew or other friendly adventurers. They came through with our allies. I had no reason to suspect anything. I have no one to blame but myself for this carelessness. I pray you'll be enough, guard captain. Huh? What's got everyone so worried? We're gonna die! Chief, you've doomed us! We are? Isn't that our allies? Look, I see Chief Oren. You two better give every damn thing you've got. If they're here to kill me, they won't want witnesses. And then we have this music. Which, I think it's both a very hype track, but also a little sad. So there's like these three as like, I don't want to say shields, but they basically are living shields for what's coming up next. And every one of these things has like an Ellery description, of course. Okay, music got a little loud there. Various merchants and artisans that make up the build of the guild. Say what you will, their skill is undeniable. One of the biggest adventurers guilds on the Crescents, the Saltsworn, trades quality for quantity. Cormorants, an established adventuring band whose battle cry is always fighting for freedom, even when it makes no sense. Glade Gallants, the Iron Prince's mounted division and most trusted fighters. Maintaining the mounts necessary is becoming very costly. Oak Hall, the Sage. Oh, whoops. Oak Hall's many apprentices, hoping to uncover the Crescent's secrets in the name of knowledge, but mostly for power. Frostfires, an adventuring band that make their fortune pillaging artifacts in the White Wastes. Not immune to the fire or the cold. Bring peace, yeah. I'll get to the other player descriptions. Frostfire. Roswick, he's the guy in charge. He's the only one with the boss icon. I don't think we ever fought or saw him before besides a couple of cutscenes. Your place is in the past, you miserable sack of bones. The Fate Friars, you won't meet him with a good fate, that's for sure. These are just villagers. The Meat Man. Who? The Guild. Various merchants and artisans that make up the bulk of the guild. Say what you will, their skills undeniable. I think we... Oh yeah, we did that one. Let's go for the bigger guys. Nerissa. Nerissa, you snake. I knew you did not like me, but I thought you better than to accept assassination. Oren, I let you go from your position peacefully. I never wanted you harmed, but looks like the feeling is no longer mutual. How's this Discord updated? It's really Crescent Discord's time. Tower. Should I have done something different? Should I have had you killed when the opportunity arose? Should I? And Maurice. Maurice. Nothing will save you from my wrath. Not these former allies you have turned. Interesting to note that Oriana's not here, so I guess he's like literally just said, no, I'm not participating in this. I'm on my own guys, so we got Ellery herself, of course. Excuse me. Yours truly, a former bureaucrat, now chieftain of Irande and soon most of the Crescent. I refuse to fall here. We have Wisp. Why do I feel so melancholic? Is it a fear of impending death? I think Wisp isn't here, by the way, on the other version. Guard? A soldier from Irande who fights for Irande. I could not ask for anyone more capable to stand with me. Potato. I only promoted him because I knew him, but he turned out to be quite suited to leadership and corruption. I don't know why he doesn't have a portrait. Same for he who chops, but hey, we take those. Doesn't speak much, doesn't ask a lot of questions, and follows orders to the letter. My favorite kind of underling. So, that is the plan. Let's see if we can do anything meaningful with it. So, I think we want to start with carving these three and maybe like 1 or 2 more enemies. There's not a whole lot I can do with only 4 allies. Well, 4 allies plus Ellery. But I do think setting up a 4-way here should be fairly trivial. So we're going to save one of them for Ellery. Doesn't really matter which, I guess. I didn't bring anything like super special here, but surely we can do like Potato here. Get this guy. Yeah, I remember that description. Get out of here. And then we'll purposely not use the Seahawk flag on turn 1 with Guard. Oh, you have Canto Plus? Oh, you do have Canto Plus. Okay, I should have known that. Alright, let's chill here then. It is what it is. You don't have it, right? No, you have like every other skill in the game, but not that one. He who chops can take out either of these, I think. I think I'd drag Wisp to like ride, actually. I think that seems like the best. We'll make an actual 4-way. So if you both kill either of these, then no point in taking damage, right? We'll save that one use Harpoon for a trick later. For now, I guess we just do this. Tower isn't supposed to be here. We're gonna told him to let it be, so he lied in his doing it to have it back. I thought Tower said he was like completely okay with doing this, but maybe I forbore. Gold Axe! Good chopped. Wait, I was supposed to do that for Ellery. I'm stupid. They're gonna die now. This is what I get for reading chat. Can you Canto it, please? Okay, you can't get it. Doesn't matter though. I don't think Ellery has a 4-range lance with her. I guess we can see if we survive and go from there. There's no way to fix this, I think. There's no way to fix this. We just have to take some hits. It's a playable unit. Oh my god, that would be very interesting for sure. I didn't even think about that. Well, let's just see what happens. Bring it on, friends. This is gonna hurt. Oh, this is gonna hurt for him. Get him Saltsworn. Wait, no, don't get him Saltsworn. Get him who chops. Let's see if the Berserker murders me. Oh, that's fine. Okay, the generic NPCs are not that strong, I guess. I do believe all the enemies move, including Roswick. It would be very interesting if Oriana joined either way. It would also help me a lot, because this is quite a bit. It's a little scary. Alright. So a lot to do, but thank god these guys didn't move, so let's stay out of range of those. How many can we kill? Assuming that everyone here kills a unit, which I think for Wisp would almost have to be the villager or the swordmaster. God, oh right, she's in the form. That's fine. She probably has to park. She can't park on flying terrain because she can't attack from there. Where are we making this 3/4-way? Almost has to be here, right? I think it's you go here, stab this guy, and then go back. Unari isn't even the boss. Nope. Okay, we gotta watch out. Unari's gonna reduce our attack speed to here, so we probably want to use Brave Lance with Unari. Get rid of that effect. And then Wisp with the Rondel Dagger. Something. If we're not dancing for people, we probably shouldn't bother with Wisp and instead just dance for Potato and Friends. Yeah, I wish I had Override here. Curse you, Ellery. If you had never come to the Crescent. If... Oh, I should check the conversations between the characters. It's fine. I'm sure Ellery versus Bernard will come up later. I do want to see Ellery versus Roswick at the very least. Can you one-on him? Can you? Nope, he's strong. Alright then. I guess taking this villager here is smart. Oh god, can you even take him? Dagger? Alright, looks like I found a use for Wisp here. So we attack here. Exit. And then we need to use the Kanto feature, the Fancy Stabber, to weaken the villager, which is very embarrassing. Oh, yeah, enemies don't use skills, that's right. That's true. Oh, I can ride again, okay. So I started my turn as the... Oh, wow, okay. I didn't forget about that. In that case, I should have canceled here. Well, I couldn't... Could I have? I don't know, maybe I could have. Let's see. So now we can kill this with Potato. Now you have to use the... No, you have Kanto Plus. You can use whatever you want. Thank you, Jacob. Okay, so we want to save this Salt Sworn for Ellery. We have for ranged weapons, so I guess we're taking this guy out. You can make it back there. You have like 6 moves, right? 7? 8. Okay, never mind. He's good. Let's take out this guy. Much rather weaken Roswick, but what am I gonna do? As far away using B. Yeah, I probably should have done that the moment I was like done attacking, right? Hit a press B, then you can counter far away. Alright, see what we got here. Well, I don't think I have extra flag here. I think the other one is still somewhere else. So I'm gonna use something else, like the barrier lance that might be useful anyway. Get rid of this Swordmaster. I guess that means we're not seeing Roswick combat this turn. So I probably should just check that. Shucks. Alright. I kinda want to see the combat conversation now. Let's pull back a little bit. It's only like 3 enemies to kill anyway. Plus we still have guard with numerous options. Like the Seahawk flag here. On this guy. Just so free. Yeah, I know, maybe there's like 50 more endgames after this. Really, I expect the Rouge to be like, I don't know, I don't need to save anything, but if I'm not losing anything by not using it, then what am I losing really, right? Alright, so we Brave Axe Roswick here. What else can we do? We can Roundel Dagger him, Bolt Sword. Honestly, it might be better to use Bolt Sword, because I can stay out of range that way. So Bolt Sword, I think, into Brave Axe might kill him. He's 36. I might have to use all 3 characters here. Oh, 95 miss? Okay, alright. Very cool, Roswick. I guess he's staying alive then. Can you heal yourself? He has an elixir, so probably can. Oh, well, never mind. He dies. I'm gonna chill then so that I can see Ellery's conversation with him. Because I've already missed one. Ellery brings peace in a very funny way. Alright, you go for Potato, calculate it, get out of here. Oh, never mind, you both go for Potato then. Oh no, Tower, get away, go away, go away, go away. Master Roswick, it's me, the 11th seat. Ah yes, the one who never said anything. I used to be too intimidated to ask questions. I just wanted to thank you for being such a good teacher. I can't say it doesn't delight me to hear that, but you seem to be on the wrong side of this conflict. Well, wrong seems to be a little uncharitable. I didn't teach you to use your lance to aid evil. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Sorry, Master. Here I come. Peace, freedom, justice, security, freedom, peace, justice. Okay, they're a little too close for comfort. Let's see some combos. They're all in range of Ellery now, so here we go. Prepare for the reading of your lifetime. No combo. This is just nothing to say to him. Alright. What about these guys? What about you? There we go. You were supposed to be a well-learned, scholarly woman. Iride must have rubbed off on you to immediately settle your grudge with violence. That is the only language you speak. Even if I am not fluent, I shall endeavor to learn. You turned the tools of creation into destruction, stained my hands with blood. I'd respect you more if you're here to avenge the victims, but it seems you only care about your own conscience. I don't believe you would know anything about a conscience. I weighed up the lives of my own people against the enemy. I am not guilt-free, but I did what I thought best. Such a decision should be condemned in any circumstance. I wonder if you'd think that if you had to bury Irende's volunteers beneath the walls. I wonder if you'd care if it had been your precious work. Enough of this. You can sling your accusations into beyond. Absolute banger lines. Absolute banger lines. Alright, let's see this one. Chief Orin, I do admit, usurping your position weighed heavily on me, after you gave us nothing but help. I was bitter, but time wore away that grudge. No matter your methods, you did push Irene to its greatest height. Truly, I did wish to make it up to you, but given you're trying to kill me, I say we call it even. You are aware my death could collapse Irene? That is no longer my concern. I've given enough for Irene. Now I only fight for another. Nerissa's lucky to have you. I'm a little less pleased about the outcome though. Nothing personnel, but cooler. These are all good combos. Kind of curious why she doesn't have a combo with Roswick. I'm gonna try and see if I can get Maurice combo now. Well, I'll probably have another chance to get it later. This should work. Why turn against Irene, Chief? After you've worked so hard to protect it from the guild. You truly are the perfect soldier. I pity you. What? Don't pity me. I'll pity your face in. Guard Pog. Glory to Irene. Did all this come about because of my mistakes? Was I ever worthy of leading Irene? Backwater town. Who cares? Maurice, Maurice, Maurice. I'm saving the tower for last. I have to commend you. I thought your threat had been long neutralized, but here you are, having turned my allies against me. You planted the seeds of your own downfall, Eri. Why are you truly so desperate to see me dead, I wonder? Is it really out of loyalty to pursue me all this way? Is it truly your wife's death, when you yourself let her die to further your own career? I have 1,001 reasons to see you dead. Why bother with specifics? Because I wager the specific reasons is much more pathetic. You couldn't bear being beaten by me at every turn, and that even my downfall was not your doing. Your crippling inferiority drove you here, to score just one victory. You can holler all you'd like, but at last I have you cornered. Only the final victory is the one that matters. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. You may find a nasty surprise in one of those eggs. Unfortunately I gave Maurice like max speed, so he's gonna be a pain to hit. Did I get them all? No, I still have tower left. Tower! And because guard had so many combos, I feel like I gotta check a couple more too. There's nothing more to say. Draw your weapon, Ellery. How very much like you. I had a whole emotional speech and everything. You know what? Fair enough. Oh, she won rounds with this. Damn. I'm gonna save his death code until he dies. Does Wisp has a combo with anyone? I'm kind of curious if she does. Spirit Slayer. No combo here. I mean, obviously Wisp herself cannot talk. We established that. Roswick, anyone here? Hey, Broccolis, you have a combo with anyone? No, right? No way. Nah, she doesn't seem to have one. Maybe Guard with Maurice? Nope. What about Guard Nerissa, considering they're both from Irene? Nope. Wisp and Maurice? Nope. Just checked that, but, you know, stream is a bit behind. Ellery's a great anti-hero during the game. She does horrible things, she's aware of it, but she does not run from guilt. Power set for all her faults, Ellery command from the front. Yeah. She doesn't have no qualities. It's got a couple ones. Anyway, I guess we 4-way as much as possible. I don't know if we can kill them all this turn. That would be quite an achievement, I think. I think it would have to involve Wisp killing Power, I think. But the rest seems quite doable. But we know Roswick takes like multiple hits. Oh, he's weakened, never mind. Is he weakened? A little bit, right? A little bit. I mean, we have the bouge. We can do almost whatever we want. So if Battery does it from here, that means we're supposed to go above afterwards. So like here. I think Spirit Slayer was a long round, so if you go here, and Spirit Slayer from here. It probably should have been from left instead. Guard Tower. Yeah, it's I think as I asked, it was happening, basically. Well done, Battery. Goodbye, Tower. 07. Bro has like nothing to say. I mean, we have a 4-way. How hard can this be, really? You're like Deathly Seahawk Flag, right? Not quite. What about you? I mean, with Kanto, I don't need to kill the person I get here. Bouge is so strong, but it doesn't kill anything. Let's say we get a free Bolt Sword or something. Let's say on Orin. It's not missing 95 this time. It's missing 83 instead. The tower has collapsed indeed. I might have screwed myself out of a 4-way somewhat here. I think it's time to get rid of him. With this. And he who chops can fill out the last spot. I feel like Tower was only a Jagan for like a couple chapters. Tower fell off. I thought I'd be one of the few adventurers to retire, dying peacefully in bed, surrounded by friends. Funny how things worked out. They really don't have elaborate speeches as they die. A little worried about Maurice kicking my ass after this, but maybe this level up will help. I still have my Seahawk Flag turn though. Maybe we can get that off with this guy. What's that already killing? Is it that guy? Is it gonna be that guy? Bouge? Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, we're just gonna 4-way here. Do you have any healing? Nope, you do. You're fine. Because there's no way Ellery is killing her, right? In one round. Area Lance? No, it's not happening. We could start on this. I don't think it's a good idea. Let's just chill. Get our 4-way and see what we do from there. Bouge? Bourgeoisie? Alright. We had this combo just now. Our doubles Maurice. With that speed level that we just got, maybe? Did all this come about from my mistakes? Sure did. Well, we'll see. I guess we don't necessarily have to use the flag. It would be good if we did. Okay, that's pretty good. Hold up. Hold up now. Goodbye, Maurice. Guard? What are you doing? Okay. That's your 1-range animation. That's pretty cool. Goodbye. This time, I gave my all. No slipping away. Yeah, turns out that the Goto is good. Can't wait to fight Guard. Alright, and we can Brave Lance her, I guess. Sure. I think I already got like no kills on named units here. Whoopsie daisy. It would be quite funny to see like this killer. Guard moment. We still have Miracle too. Let's see what happens here. Surely the endings are different depending on who wins. Devoured by the beast I willingly fed. I deserve this, but Orin, I shouldn't have let you come. My guard goes hard. I'm sorry. What do you have to be sorry for? I was the aggressor. For my wrongdoings leading us here. For not being the person you wanted me to be. You do have a lot to be sorry for. Don't make that face. You knew this day would come. No, I did not. I want to explain myself to you and Oriana first. You didn't give me the chance. There's nothing to explain. I had to end the siege. We were bleeding troops against their walls. It was either... And your invitation to House Heron, did you have to do that too? I'm not spending my last moments listening to you whine. Don't tell Krinia how I died. She does not need to know what will hurt her. It would have been in my interest anyways. Then I can rest. Damn. Arcsage, Chief Orin, this is not the end you deserve. I know they worked tirelessly, furthering Irendae's interests all those years. Despite our differences, I recognize that they were truly noble souls. Allow me to bury them with honor. They should not get a traitor's burial. Of course they do not. What transpired here was a plot of Maurice and Unari. It was a tragedy that the good chief and Archstage were unexpectedly caught in it. Is that how you want the story told? There will be no talk of treachery. They would never betray Erinde. Then it will be done. One more thing. Chop Maurice's body into 1,000 pieces and feed it to the dogs. Damn. Poor Orin. If you had succeeded, it'd be 2 obstacles gone, but I'm not so lucky. Damn. What are you plotting? Grandfather was invincible. How could he die to some common rabble? No one is invincible, Crinia. Always treasure the family you have now, because you never know when the worst might happen to the Crescent. She knows though, right? Like, she basically knows. She knows. I thought when I'd become rich and powerful, I could really thank him. Maybe build him a mansion or something. I'll never get that chance now. You know Tower wouldn't care for that. The best thing you can do is live happily. It will bring him joy like nothing else. It's not enough. Nothing can be enough to repay him. I'm sorry. The Crescent lost a great man and a great grandfather. Are you sorry in a general sense, or something more than that? There's no point in lying to you. He was discontent, not just with you, but with how his life had turned out. I should have known he'd do something drastic. I should have known to stop him. Once Towers makes up his mind, no one can stop him, not even you. I hold no grudge against him for that, though I'll pray you'll forgive me. I can't truly forgive you, Ellery. At its roots, this was all you're doing. House Heron would have evaded eventually. By encouraging them to come unprepared, I truly believe I've ensured a better outcome for the Crescent. Why is she manipulating me? Why is she so good? When was it ever up to you to gamble with the lives of everyone on this land? This is because you claim you know best. You and Rosetta, you're not so unlike. Was this all truly good for the Crescent? Or did you convince yourself it was? What does it matter if the outcome is the same? I want you to ask yourself if you can keep up that excuse for all your decisions. Oriana, do you regret protecting that defenseless young woman from those thugs near those rotting docks those years ago? What kind of question is that, Ellery? I just wanted to ask. I would never regret saving a stranger. Is that what you want to hear? That is all. Goodbye, Oriana. May you live happily. That's a straw man, or whatever that was. And a false equivalence, I think is what that's going for. You think we'll be home in time for my birthday? Oh, she's going conquering? For your birthday? It'll be years before we even see home. Really? I thought she meant years as in figuratively. Nothing takes years. Chops, you really have no idea what you signed up for. Not really. I don't get why everyone is so enthusiastic. Why are we going over there when the Crescent is fine? Let's put it this way. If you had a small tomato farm, your neighbor's was 10 times the size, would you be satisfied? They're going conquering. I'd be pretty satisfied. I can live off a small tomato farm. Let's work. You wouldn't survive the Great Tomato Conflict. Let's just go. It fills me with pride that you've really made something of yourself. But to go across the ocean? Oh, she's going with Ellery. Again! I still think of you as my little girl. I'm not ready to see you go. Ready or not, you can't keep coming to my rescue every time something happens. I don't doubt I could, as silly as that is. I don't need it anymore. Anyone who gets in my way, I can turn to ash with ease. I wish you'd rely on the blessing less often, Crinia. I'm trying not to hoard it. Yeah, the mainland. The big tomato farm. I think that implies the girl Oriana saved was her. I suppose it could, yeah. Wisp being a mystery is honestly one of the coolest things in this hack. You worry too much. Speaking of which, Mother, please stop spending all your time fruitlessly researching the blessing. I thought I was pretty secretive about it. It's quite easy to figure out, considering what tomes you've been leaving about. I thought we resolved the issue years ago. Why are you still obsessed with it? If there's any returning to traces of madness, then my time would have arrived. I've already lived a far more interesting life than a sickly young girl could imagine. So what if my life is a little shorter? There's some other thread out there. I don't want to have missed it. You and Grandfather already went through everything under the sun. Is the final stream? I think so. Unless we get endgame X, Y, and Z as after all, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's been broccolied that this is the final map, and this is the final scenes. But we have one more variation of the final map. You've spent far too much of your life living for me. Please, live for yourself. I know adventuring is essentially extinct, but there is so much more out there. I was not expecting to be on the receiving end of a lecture from my daughter. I'm sure if Grandfather was here with us, he'd tell you the same. I shouldn't delay our departure any longer. Keep well, mother. Maybe take up soap making or something. Why soap making? She's telling me I smell? The Crescent has truly been a blessing. In so few years, I have it all. Land, power, wealth, and an army at my beck and call. Princess, you might be disgusted by my methods, but that is who I am. You believe that I only fought for your ambitions, but it was always my own desire. Chief, I'm ready. Say your goodbyes to your mother? For like the 17th time, yes. I was willing to leave you in charge of the Crescent as its primary governor. You did not need to embark on this undoubtedly harsh and messy expedition. The Crescent is not enough for me anymore. I know the mainland is where history shall be rewritten, and that's where I want to be. You're truly a woman after my heart. You're destined for great things. So, is it Pomelo then? Is there nothing I can say to convince you to come with me? You know I have little desire to aid in Ellery's plans or go to the mainland. The Crescent is my home. Wish I could say the same, Pom. Only through practical application and refinement can I improve my art. And for that, Ellery's expedition to the mainland is where I must go. You seek out war, Lindros. This is the price of progress. And I must send you off. But Lindros, if there's one thing to remember, don't let anyone second your decision. You're smart. The smartest man I know. Alright, Pom, what's that about? Do I look like someone so easily swayed? You kinda do, Lynn. Only by you. You flatterer. Well, don't forget Ellery. She's like... got the minute button. I shall be here waiting for your return. Do not forget to send letters. There'll be some very detailed letters, so much that you'll be sick of receiving them. Bro's gonna die in the war. Quartermaster. It's been a while. I haven't been quartermaster in years, but good to see you too, Pom. I knew you'd be here to see Ocrinia. It makes the two of us losing a loved one to that darned Ellery. It's not my place to curtail Ocrinia's ambitions, even if I don't fully approve. Yeah, she's basically seeing her daughter go off with a murderer. But then again, you know, murder is a relative term. I imagine you feel the same for Lindros. Yeah, I love him, but the old Lynn would have balked at what he does now. But I can only love him for who he is. They're a pairing. If we truly desired it, there is nothing truly stopping us from joining them. But we don't. I imagine our hesitancy arises for quite similar reasons. We know what this expedition represents, but enough of that. This is supposed to be a happy day. We will see them again. You know what I gotta wonder for Ellery is like, yeah, sure, that royal family, the Herons, are about wiped out now. But surely someone jumped into the power vacuum on the mainland, right? Like, it's not just an uncontrolled mess like the Crescent often was. It's not easy conquering that place. Thanks for the follow, Sir Lancelot. Ellery would never manipulate Lindros. It's true. No, don't link the YouTube feed. No, don't link the receipts. No, don't do it. Who's in charge of the Crescent? I don't know. I thought it was one of these two, but apparently not. I'm guessing Ellery left someone in charge. Mainland's his king. That's true, but he was like a puppet to the various like lords, right? Maybe he took up the reins of power though. Now that the Herons are gone. But enough of that. This is supposed to be a happy day. We will see him again. Yo, it's Mince. Hey, I always miss you two. Good to see you're still in top shape, Pom. And Quartermaster? I feel like I haven't seen you in months, even though you live only about a few hundred meters away. See, I'm not the only one trapped in the past. I have been cooped up indoors a lot recently. Ellery was still asking about your health, you know. Do you still refuse to see her? I should be flattered that I'm still on her mind, but some wounds don't heal. It's not my place to pry. Want to get a bite at my restaurant? We're half off to celebrate the departure. Yeah, owns a restaurant. Good for you, bro. I'm all for it. Nothing tastes better than a discount. I hope he still doesn't have money trouble. Quartermaster, surely you join us as well. We've missed you. It's rather ridiculous, but I want to see their boat safely depart. As if that has good tidings for their whole journey. I get it. You're not coming? I will join you two in a short while. How to promote it? Which chapter are you on? This is the ending. Don't turn away now if you don't want spoilers. It's literally the ending. But I have a whole playlist on YouTube if you want to watch back some parts. That's more like it. Give me your order now, and I'll see to it you get it warm when you arrive. I don't know, just a porridge. Just a porridge? Come on, it's not what you want. You've played it? Okay, good. Look, how about I decide? Trust me, you'll love it. Oh, it's 2009 represented in chat. You have the moral high ground to not pay for it if you don't. It's a winning situation. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, he's debt free. I think There was a conversation about that, but I forgot. There was a lot going on. I'm sure you know best, Mince. That goes without saying. It's a cold day. Don't catch a chill sitting in the wind, Quartermaster. I love this group. The Crescent is unified. The green tides are no more. In due time, the dangers of the wilderness will be pulled out by adventurers. This was a future I could scarcely imagine, and yet I am. Our youths cross the oceans, staking a claim on foreign lands. The shadow of the red-haired queen is ever present, even in her absence. Only Ellis knows how long this fragile peace can last. Tower, is this a Crescent you're satisfied with? It is surely better than how it used to be. That should be enough, right? I don't know about that. Our turn counts. They're low. Because we had good stuff going on. We're not done. There's another variation of the final map we gotta play. But I'm gonna real quick check what this post thing looks like. 237. LTC pace. The greatest guard. I wonder, hey, Broccoli made this. Do they have different endings? Surely, like, guard is not in the other ending. So do other people have different endings depending on which you play for the final? There was no warrior more feared than her batteries enemies. Some claim she's Alice's punishment for world sins. Others say she's a malevolent god reborn. Word of her very arrival has made armies flee the field. Yeah, I think Minsk just kind of said he was kind of done adventuring in the first place. And he was, I mean, it was always passion for him. Perhaps it was a mercy for him to die on the Crescent instead of seeing destruction of his kingdom, his king, and everything that he fought for under Ellery's brutal conquest. Okay, that confirms enough. Yes, nice. So, for example, Sorbet, does he have a different ending on the other way? Because that's extraordinary. Because like, not much changes for him, I think. Well, actually, I don't know what the other ending is. Don't spoil that part. I'm not reading them all out, I'm afraid. Everyone gets a different ending. Damn. Empress, the title too long. The Empress's territory was quickly invaded by the settlers' expansion, which she did not take kindly to. Dozens of victims later, a manhunt was called, and the self-proclaimed sovereignty was finally put to rest. I'll try to keep Broccoli around. It seems like a helpful phrase to have. Man, you don't even have a WL or whatever the other stat is. Because we didn't get this guy. No, I didn't. I couldn't. He's exclusive with Chickson. Alicent intended her stints with Ellery to be a bouncing pad towards greater opportunities. But with said opportunities being crushed one by one in Ellery's war machine, she begrudgingly stayed on as a consultant. Right. Can't really work for anyone else if there's one person here. Yo, they have a pairing. A paired ending. For the whatever you would call Kalugo. Kalugo's enthusiasm did much to raise even Zio's spirits. They had many odd adventures in their travels, all of which Zio carefully documented the travelings of Kalugo and Zio. Oh, the documented was an insightful manuscript of that era. Yeah, Rip Empress. Someone wrote something about Asiel. 4 different ones. Ow. Suzubai remained in Ellery's service just to see what might happen. She saw the heights of Ellery's empire and its inevitable collapse. In the aftermath, there was plenty of opportunity to cultivate a cult of her own. Cultivating a cult. Yeah, of course the empire eventually collapses. But because it's, you know, the thousands of years living god, I guess we never find out just how long it is. With Inari dead and discredited, Frosthaven quickly fell into Ellery's hands. The city and the Frostfire still quietly commemorate her for what she put on the line to fight for them. Rip Frostfires. Ivatne. Oh, where's the W and the L? Why are they gone? Ivatne quickly became known as the most uncompromising of Ellery's generals. She led the army that crushed the capital, and took particular delight in burning the lands of those who condemned her princess. Oh, that's right. She was related there. Lilac. With Tower gone and unsure of what to do with himself, Lilac returned to the feuding sect. He was pushed into the position of sect master. When Ellery had his peers executed for plotting, his tenure was quiet. Hope he survived, at least. Hagendire served loyally in Ellery's new regime as one of the old guard. She waited for his inevitable betrayal, but it never came. Everyone agreed he was still a complete twat, but he always got the job done. I want to keep reading this, but also really want to play the other map. Joyful Joe aided the migration of his kind to greener pastures when settlers took their land. Knowing he will not ascend in his lifetime, Joe spent his last years writing about how the drive to ascend is equally a corrupted force. Bro, you don't have paws. You have like 2 legs that can't hold a pen for shit. Against Pomelo's advice, John 16 joined the expedition south. While unskilled, Ellery saw her value as an assassin. There are few things more terrifying than being eaten inside one's home, a fate shared by a few of Ellery's foes. Finally, an expedition John can keep up with. Use blood of its enemies? Fair enough. I want to see Vermilion's ending here. After Ellery prevented her from distributing her works as she desired, she wrote several highly critical pieces on the Overlord. Wanted for these crimes, she was recruited as the voice of the resistance, and her bounty reached new heights. I feel like she wouldn't survive very long if Ellery's hunting for her. Ellery sent boxes and boxes of books looted from her conquest to Igo. He was soon the caretaker of the greatest library in the known world and was insisted it was remain public, albeit with enforcers to ensure proper conduct. And hopefully some actual firefighters ready to go. This is so based. The escape north with, but before could the her was by the end of the was glad that Ellery. Gosh. Obviously that's like, oh, I'm gonna speculate on Wisp so much. Okay, look. Tazel, with determination, work ethic, and no small amount of bribery, Tazel's business grew so big it would exceed even the guild, not limited by the borders of the Crescent. Even Ellery was one of his debtors, much to her chagrin. Based Tazel. Dune. As soon as it was feasible, Ellery ordered Dune away from the Crescent to serve on some distant border. She passed away from illness years later, bitter to the end that she never got what she thought she deserved. You know, just be happy you didn't die. I know, right? Freaking Wisp. Nerissa. Out of respect, and perhaps no small amount of guilt, Lindros ensured Nerissa's contributions to the world would be known. If she still lived, she would hate the fact that these monsters would be what she was remembered for. Whoopsie daisy. Orin, it was only years after his death, with Irinde going through another harsh year, when people whispered again about how life was so much better under Chief Orin. I don't know. Would Ellery really let Irinde go to shit? Driven to the only option he felt he had, Basil attempted to assassinate his sister. He was killed instantly, a fate he felt that he deserved. Suicide by sister? Time kept control of Sundown Bay for some time, but it was increasingly clear to Ellery this defective leader needed to be replaced, or there was going to be a riot. Before Ellery's men could arrest her, she fled with her gold. Smart. Yo! John committed many horrific crimes against the mainland and its people. Maybe, is this John? When accused, they pleaded defense of non-sentience at the time of crime. The verdict was not guilty. Is this John? Guess it is. I don't think I had 999 battles with John, just saying. Though Chixin could never taste his own dishes and never understood the concept of hygiene, it still became a famed chef. Its signature dish was Staircase to Damnation, a broth with a smell like death and a taste like not death. Murky. While rival mages began to develop their own automatons, Murky was Ellery's secret weapon to ensure her own remained on top. Rumors about her insidious experiments to produce these results could never be proven. Nameless Goddess. Her name has been lost in history. Got her! There was a different ending. I think there's different portraits for him too. That probably explains that. They're just different characters in the game. Asiel searched for years and years, looking for a reason to be chosen. She only returned to Anan as an old woman, and was shocked to find a massive city where there was once a little town. It was a satisfying life nonetheless. So someone in chat said Asiel has 4 endings? Right? So I'm assuming those are like 2 different endings for the 2 different things I played. The princess escaped north with Etery before they could get to the Crescents. Her Majesty was tragically killed by the servants of the king. Prince's name was glad that. How'd you find it out? Oh, it's just your speculation. That's fair. Sounds likely. I mean, the king basically confirmed he did something with that, right? Whipjack rose in the ranks of Etery's army due to his seniority, but never changed his ways of acts befitting to his position. It was agreed upon conscripts that Whipjack was the least demanding commanding officer. Franziska served as one of Etery's senior officers for a few years, but retired right before the fighting got truly deadly. She built 2 mansions using all the gold she earned, one just for herself and one for her wyvern. Basil depends on his level? That makes a lot of sense. Maybe his level compared to Thyme? That'd be super amazing. Marlowe was chosen by Etery to take charge of Irene, not because he was remotely qualified, but because Etery was sure he was too lazy to betray her. She was right. Marlowe did the minimum and delegated the rest of the world. Well, the main Irene, like, chief helps all went on the expeditions, so I wonder who he went with. Rohesia taught her techniques to another bright generation of aspiring swordmasters. As she saw them off to fight in the name of Chief Etery, she somberly wonders if she will outlive another generation of her students. Krynia! Krynia was Etery's most trusted lieutenant, having full authority in Etery's absence. She did not shy away from using her blessing to crush all that stood in her way. The threat of a dragon rampage encouraged surrender. I'm assuming because this came up a couple times already for Gecko, I'm guessing she also has different endings depending on how much she trained? Maybe? I feel like she could be one of those. I'm guessing this is also what... Anyone with and without... Oh, the secret's right. Is that dependent on what I did with SCL in the map with Quilon then? Probably, right? I don't think I'm replaying this either anytime soon. Yo, Vermilion! Chicken! Chickens in chat now, please. All at once, 10,000 realms received the prophecy of the Red One, who shall bring about the ends of all ends. Meanwhile, the discarded thing followed Krynia home. Perhaps one day... He'll be something more than a mere husk. You're more to me, Vermilion. You're a monster. Wow, so much MVPs in a row. Yosef never figured out how to be the best, but was comforted that no one else knew. His fame reached each corner of the Crescent for his incredible dances that drove crowds wild. Perhaps not the best, but he was good. I mean, not using Krynia must feel a bit painful. Chalice found herself cleaning up after Etery's wars. She amassed a following amongst the sect's believers while carrying out what she thought were basic responsibilities, healing those in need. Many statues were made in her honor. Chickens! Telon, changed man. While his sister's ambitions in tatters and unsure of where to go, Telon settled for a simple life, cultivating the land. He lived quietly and never talked about his past. When one spoke with the man Telon used to be, they were not believed. I tried using this man. It didn't work out. I would have liked to use her all the way too, Yvette. She seemed quite good. Yvette followed Etery to the mainland as one of her senior officers. While she struck fear into the hearts of her foes, her squad always had the highest casualty rates. Her career was ended by an unexpected mutiny. Yvette! I thought you were better than this. Riker. A few months of mundanity was enough to convince Riker to join Etery's expedition to the mainland. Of course he did. He excelled in the vanguard as its most daring warrior, but was shot to pieces during a particularly valiant charge. No, Riker. Please tell me your sister was smarter than this. She was gonna go be merching, right? She spent all her gold buying as much land in Irene as possible. When Irene became the Crescent's most prosperous city, Raylin became a wealthy woman. She refused to do anything more with her gold except save it. You know, I don't blame her. I'm gonna say Pitfall, but I don't blame her. I tried to use Riker, but I didn't get a single point of strength, unfortunately. Gecko! The contrast between Gecko's ill appearance and her skill in battle helped her reputation grow. She did not enjoy war, yet she fought because she felt obliged to. The last thing her victims saw was a single sorrowful eye. I'm sorry, Gecko, I didn't know I was ruining your ending by using you. I just wanted the Guild Force. And the chicken eye. Mince rejected Etery's offers of positions in power and stayed as Irene's chef, leaving a lasting impact on the Crescent's cuisine. While he knew he should be glad for his friend's success, he still feels a tinge of guilt. I mean, yeah. So basically leaving her be. But you know, he made up his own mind. A lot of mixed endings, a lot of bad endings. As Ellery's conquests grew, Lindros became the most infamous mage in the known world. He cared little for his reputation, continuing to refine his craft and insisting that to himself that it was worth the progress. Pamelo never left his mind. Poor guys, they all feel so bad inside. Hopefully they get better endings if with the other variation. Pamelo found himself losing passion for his craft, knowing it would go to support Ellery's war efforts. He found joy in being a toy maker, delighting children with mechanical marvels. He awaits each of Lindros' letters eagerly. I feel so bad for these people. They're all like, they did their career, but it fucking sucks, because they feel bad. Ellery ensured a grand funeral was held for Tower, the old warrior and that he be remembered as a hero of the Crescent. He was usually portrayed as Ellery's mentor, a depiction he'd undoubtedly have disagreed with. Gay? Yeah, gay. Oriana, adventurer no more. With the Crescent pacified, there was no more reason for Oriana to fight. While she enjoyed peace, she knew it was at the cost of others. She slept with sword in hand, believing that war would one day return to the Crescent. Ellery, coastal conqueror. The mainland was not ready for the Crescent's invasion. Backed by an army of men and monsters, she repeated an ultimatum. Join her fledgling empire or perish. While an empress in all but name, she still insisted on being chief. You made it all the way here. I can only hope this hack has allowed for some semblance of enjoyment. Thank you for playing. That is the only way I think the author could write this. With that hint of humor. Super cool. I couldn't have completed this hack without the assets and ASM made by the community over all these years. These several hundred names are far too much to be listed in a text box like this one, but I do encourage you to check out the credits in the main post. Thank you to everyone who has supported me throughout the development, providing feedback and playtesting and report issues and typos. It means a lot, really. I wish you a very good day. Dun, 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 dun. And now you know what time it is. It's time to play the other ending. Hopefully it has some better endings for some characters, because holy shit, they got screwed. This one is probably a bit shorter to play, because there's only 4 enemies. But first I gotta refill my water supply. 60 hours? Did I have 60 hours? Seems likely. I think speed up adds a lot though. But we had, how many streams? Would you say like 20 streams? 15 streams? Upgrading my things. I know, right? Rivian is the head developer for this one. I haven't had, I haven't spoke to Rivian. Sometimes ROM hackers will like reach out to me if I'm playing their stuff. Sometimes I'll reach out to them if I need to. But I haven't had contact with them, so I have no idea if they have any thoughts on whatever I've said. But you know, I think my opinion is clear. Let me get some water. Just post on Twitch. I have no settings changed on Twitch, so I have no idea. But probably it is going to be on YouTube. In fact, it already is basically. Anyway. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We have like 50,000 NPCs, so in theory this is easier. And also I have rescue. I'm gonna use that to get that guy on the left over here. Dretlich the Third. Oh wait, they actually do have Wisp, I forgot. It's a little scary, but at least she doesn't have like 50 move here. They're probably gonna like rip these guys to shreds, but that's what they're here for, right? Yo, we actually get to use Fate Friar based. So let's just put some people forward, see what we can do. Can't quite reach yet. I can reach next turn though, so let's just rescue over someone else that wants to be closer. Let's say Orin. And actually I'm wondering, Orin can rescue. And drop someone a little closer here too, just for funnies. I'm gonna grab this guy too. Come here. Yeah, I'll check descriptions. Give me 1 second. Let's see. So it's just basically from POV Oriana, right? I'm doing the right thing for the Cerulean Crescent for everyone, but is it the right thing for me? Taro seems to feel none of the hesitation I do, but I suspect his heart also isn't quite in it. He has a gleeful look upon his delightfully stable face. Maurice. Inari, she feels no love for Ellery, that much is certain. To her, a heavy weight is being lifted over her town. Roswick, I know little about this man, allegedly famous back in his day. All I know is that he shall help us slay her. Crossfires. A lot less of them now that after the failed campaign, but still enough to stay in it. What a boatload of pointless deaths. Beating guard one last time. Yep. Dreadlich 3. A perfectly average traveler on the Crescent. They have a very interesting choice of headwear. I think that was their initial description too. I think this is the same, which had like one funny thing about it. Where was it? Multi for quantity. The skill is undeniable. There was a funny description somewhere. Well, let's check out these. He who chops, a poor fool who has to die for Ellery's sake. Potato. This man always gave me an odd feeling. I don't mean to discriminate, but I suspect I will not mourn him. Guard. More monster than woman. I didn't know a mere human could become so mighty. Regardless, she will fall against so many. She's gonna be kind of hard to kill, isn't she? Ellery. I never intended things to go this far. I don't want this to be how it all ends. And Wisp. Is there someone there? Anyway, let us move forward here. I know who to like dance for, so I'll just dance for Maurice. I don't really dare to open up this place any further because I don't want it to like pierce through. I'm assuming there's game over conditions too. So let's just get it. I don't really care about Roswick. You can like go to hell. Here he comes. Alright, the guild is about to get chopped. Brunos. And Guard, wrecking with the Silver Lance. Goodbye, Okal. Before Ellery accidentally sets up a 4-way. Goodbye, Glade Gallant. Oh, you're alive. That means Ellery's gonna come in for the kill, right? Yep. Goodbye. Alright, surely we have enough actions to kill this group of 5. Oh, we got NPCs. Oh shit. Oh, we're really feeding guard now. At least they'll weaken guard at the very least. So Wisp is the princess is still watching over Ellery. That's kind of what I think too. It is, in some way, shape, or form, the princess. That much is obvious. Boss's map is guard, not Ellery. I mean, does Ellery even have a boss icon? I feel like they're all equally enemies. Nice miracle. I think this is the end for Wisp though. Wisp is so cool. I wonder if I like made them worse at combat than she could have been. I didn't deploy her every map ever. Yo, Dreadlich. Isn't this guy? I don't think he counts as a spirit, but he's kind of strong, all right. I kind of would have liked if he spent. It would have been really fun. It would be really funny if the NPCs just routed this now. But I think with this guy moving on a 1 HP enemy, that's less likely. We gotta reduce stats. Oh, I guess you can do that, yeah. Because it's gonna be kind of hard to kill her, isn't it? And she starts with the spear equipped, so maybe we're fine here. Maybe. Let's see. Well, we gotta do something about guard first of all. I think tower will be pretty good at that. That works. We do have miracle to contend with though. I need to get him to 1 HP and then kill him. Her. And I don't want to die to that strong ass Silver Lance, so maybe this is not the way to go. What if Nari can double him, right? Her, god damn it. Reducing her speed to 0 seems kind of good. I also want to see some combos here, obviously. I don't think... Let me see. They're like... Because, for example, I think Guard has confrontations with Orin on the other way around. So let's check this out, I guess. Same combo? Okay. Maybe. So I'm guessing they're all the same, but we'll see. I guess I don't really care if Unari dies. Oh, I guess this is another opportunity to see Unari versus Ellery, actually, so I gotta make sure I can do that. Sorry, I'm just going back and forth here. Maurice is super fast, but he can't double guard. You're looking really good, though, with your brave stuff. How about you try this? Probably should use the staff action first. Okay, now I can tower, I think. Tower, let's get it. Tower also reduces her avoid to 0, I think. Because it was personal. Goodbye, guard. Time to see the death code for the first time. Glory to Rivian Day! I die in Irena's name. This battle theme is perfect. Like, holy shit. Okay, we don't have to kill this villager, probably, because I'm assuming it's just to kill Ellery, right? Well, we'll see, I guess. I mean, we have enough power to do that away, right? So, just like, come on, just, whatever. Yeah, just Orange Special this one. Get out of the way. Oh, yeah, Ariana Ellery, we definitely gotta check that. I need to check Unari as well. But I'll do that with the dance. And I kind of want Unari next to Ellery anyway, so this will work out, I think. Oh, we can do this, that's right. For another free turn. Don't even need Oriana to dance for him. Her. God damn it. Alright, take the forest. I knew you'd be trouble eventually, but you really got a head start on me. Still too long a wait for me to see every Frostfire avenged. We could have come to a reasonable agreement. I had no reason to take Frosthaven away from you. I'd rather not live at the mercy of an egoistic despot, and the Crescent will agree with me. There's no Crescent in your conservation, only preserving some tiny scrap of power. That is a fair condemnation if it was from anyone but you. Good thing we trained Unari a little bit, right? Right? You know, it's only right if Oriana's the one to finish her off, right? 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 Ooh, it's a little scary, though. Whenever you scare me. Who do we dance for? Maurice, of course. Oh, what if Maurice gets to kill Ellery? That's insane, too. Ah. Maurice killing Ellery would be like the worst ending. I kind of don't want to do that to her. That's like cruel. I wonder if they have a special combo for him killing her, though. I never would in a million years have thought that's a possible thing to end the game with. Maurice killing Ellery. Let's see if there's anything special to it. This is their normal combo, of course. I've taken so many gambles. This is my undoing. Blades in the back as I admire the beauty of the Crescent. Right, that sounds like a normal death quote to me. Time for this one. Even you, Oriana? After all the drinks we shared, after all our struggles? Oh, she can't even say anything. I knew you had a strong sense of justice, but I didn't think you had it in me to cut me down. I wish it was not you, Ellery, but I can't back down. Even if you know that this will hurt Krinia, regardless of the result, I've made my choice. And I see there's nothing that can change your mind. Let's get to it. Fuck, dude. Ow. I've taken so many gambles, and this is my undoing. Alright, this guy's not surrendering. Let's go, Roswick! Right, Roswick? Yeah, Roswick can have it. I mean, you might not get it. I'm gonna use Fate Friar. Go, Fate Friar! So that should be a way different ending, considering how much emphasis there was on Ellery's conquests. I'm really going to die here after everything I've survived. How unbelievable. I assumed I would eventually die in a grand battle, not to knives in some remote corner. This is righteous retribution for every life you've ruined on your grasp for power. Shut the fuck up, Maurice. Oriana, Tower, I have always respected you. Given all that we've been through together, may you entertain one last request from this dying woman, from an old friend? I'll hear it. Kill Maurice. Your poisoned tongue can no longer do you any good, Ellery. This feud is finally at an end. Were you not a man of honor? I made no promise that needed to be honored. He dies in this ending. Thank you. I don't think I could rest if that mongrel outlived me. Oriana, you saved me. You brought me to the Crescent. Okay, so it is confirmed. It would be poetic if you'd finish the deed yourself. I won't forget what you've done for Crinia, for us. May Alice forgive my betrayal. You were only being true to yourself. At least make it as quick as possible. God damn. Dune, she's been watching the entire time, doing nothing. No doubt, the whole Crescent will know, and here I hope we might leave no witnesses. There was no chance an assassination of this scale could have possibly gone undetected. Regardless, the figure who cast such a shadow over the Crescent has truly fallen. Captain Oriana, Tower, you're heroes to the Crescent. Frosthaven will welcome you. I will decline your offer. I have little interest in contributing to your petty ambitions. We are leaving the Crescent, immediately. I wonder if you'll survive the turmoil. Should we not at least go to Crinia before we leave? What will you say to her? We just slew your idol and sabotaged your future? Surely we can't just simply disappear from our life. Our own hides are about to be tanned by the full force of Ellery's allies. We'd only be dragging her into more danger. Orin, Arcsage, surely you plan to wrestle Irinde away from Dune. If she desires that position so much, she can have it. Are you willing to let all your hard work be claimed by vultures? It was always our decision to leave. I think they already discussed this, right? Orin and Nirsa. There's little more to gain from a town which has decidedly chosen another. We owe Irinde nothing more. A word of warning from a friend. It is not too late to leave the sinking ship, even if you built it yourself. I can only wish you two safety in travels. I can't possibly abandon all I've worked for. What shall become of Frosthaven? Shall Ellery's allies devour each other with her death, or have I sped up our demise? I've made my bed, and now I must lie in it. You were supposed to come to dinner, Ellery. I made such good stew. I had so much to tell you. Would things be different if I told her about Maurice? Was it my neglect that caused this? Stay back, Lynn. This looks bad. Ellery's yet to even be buried, and they're already stirring up a mess? Is this true? It can't be. What's going on? Exactly. I don't want to believe it, but they've already fled from the Crescent. They killed Ellery for what I did? Did they do such a thing? Mother and Ellery were always in good terms, right? I know grandfather was disgruntled, but since this tragedy, our heroic chieftain struck down by turncoats and conspirators while protecting the Crescent from harm. These villains include our very own Orin and Nerissa, who were undoubtedly taken by envy. There was also Unari from Frosthaven, who we all know to be a foe from the last war. Yo, finally some Dune justice. You think Tower might kill Lindros? I don't think so. They're already fleeing. We all know to be a foe from the last war. But even more tragically, the chieftain was betrayed by two of her own companions, the famed Tower and Oriana, whose daughter is perfectly placed to exploit Ellery's trust. Are you suggesting I had a hand in this? Ellery's always treated me so well, why would I have a reason to see her dead? The guilty are quick to lay claim lack of motive, but this is as clear as day. Everyone knows you were the chief's chosen successor. Crinia? Well, Crinia was Ellery's favorite. She was not in a position to seize power without her. You, on the other hand, seem to be taking significant advantage of Ellery's passing. Would you trust the words of the man whose incompetence caused the Alunzar's massacre? The aftermath of which is what put the chief in danger? This reeks of a conspiracy. Yo, this is political. Don't you slander my man like that. You were at the tide, you know nothing about this. All I see is that you intended to use us as scapegoats for your own ambition. Preach all you want, but leave Crinia out of this. She's nothing but a victim. Thank you for having my back, everyone. Do not listen to their words. They are foreign to Irinde, but they are not our people. How can you say that after what we've done for Irinde? My mother was born here, you helmeted freak. Please kill her, Krinia. Irinde, will we let this injustice stand? Can we let these turncoats go unpunished? Is it me you want, Dune? Then you can have me in all my glory. You love your traditions, don't you, Irinde, old blood? How about the oldest tradition of all? We settle this in blood. People of Irinde, we must stand together against this monster. Glory to Irinde! I'm not seeing enthusiasm for that call to action. Let's see how old your blood really is. Fuck you, Dune. Not really, I wouldn't call it a dub. Is there anyone else who wishes to challenge my legitimacy? No, I think Ellery is alive somewhere. I think her spirit is here. Anyone? Speak up. The chief always told me to be open to the words of the people. Well, then I can only assume the matter is settled. Mother, grandfather, why? Why'd you have to do this? Why'd you kill her? Why'd you put me into this position? It's only really hitting me now. I can never return home. That place which raised me, which made me who I am. Yeah, bit of a miscalculation by Dune there. But what are you gonna do? It's like you're ever gonna seize power from Krinia if you play it the nice way, right? The place which raised me, which made me who I am. I was not born of Irinde, yet I feel a similar ache. So many years of effort. I wanted to turn that town into something great. I forced you into this decision. I do not regret anything, Nerissa, because we are together. Even now that we've cut off our own roots and are adrift with no destination in mind, the world is a vast place, and we're lucky enough to be two people with skills that will let us prosper wherever we please. I am an Archsage after all, and you'll make a good woodcutter. Of course, maybe even a cart puller on a good day. I have no particular direction in mind, the only limiting factor being a place we can reach before our food runs out. How about, I don't know, the Wasteland City-States? They sure seem to have planned this pretty well. Wasteland City-States. I hear they have the finest baked chicken in the world. Please tell me there's like a way to like, what if you train Dune and she's actually like, I don't know, not able to send it to Krinia, but it would be funny to change that ending. Regardless of the timelines, Dune stays losing. Yeah, even in that one other ending that we got, I think based on Betrayer's answers, like the fight against the merchants, you like kill her. I hear they have the finest chicken in the baked chicken in the world. That's such a terrible reason. Let's go there. Where did you say they were going? I'm sorry, I was still like processing this. Yo, is that Big Bird? Oh. Really? Poisoning the water? Who put you up to this task? I have nothing to say to you, Dragon Fiend. Long live the Coastal Coalition! I suppose that answers that. You can join all your friends in the ash box. Krinia rules the Crescent with an iron flame. I need to remember to do this outside. Now there's a mess all over the floor. It was pure luck that I was passing by the kitchen when he decided to act. The Coastal Coalition already died with a whimper years ago. Dragging around the name of a corpse, how fitting. These rebels are already 1 foot in the grave. I can only hope these days of sleeping with one eye open shall end eventually. Mince, why are you still here? What do you mean by that? I know you have a distaste for how I've kept control of the Crescent, that your heart is no longer in it. I remember how much you loved what you do, but there's no such spark here. Blocker endgame, where Dune is an enemy? Yeah. Alright, the one where you severed her ending, right? Also, what up, Toffee? I mean, some endings we know change on basic unit levels, like Gecko. At least some confrontations do. What kind of person would I be to back down at the sign of hardship? Someone has to keep this place safe. But not you. I'm not Ellery, Mince. Even if I was, you owe her nothing. It's not about that. Then is it because I'm Ellery Oriana's daughter, or Ellery's protege, that you feel the need to aid an old friend's charge? No. Then what is it about? What makes you continue to fill this role which you so dislike? Mince, I'm dismissing you from your position. What? Huh? You deserve better than this cesspool that is the Civil War. Please, go live a better life. I will, Krinia. I will pray for your continued good health. Pray? When did he become a follower? Oh, I like how she flashed like enemy for a second there. Ah, again, another headache. Ellery only ever taught me how to conquer, but not how to rule. Can I ever truly rule the Crescent? No, I can't doubt myself. I will succeed. Oh, they're together in this one. Damn. I've always daydreamed about a humble home far from civilization, away from the struggles of society and simply living off the land. I can't believe we're actually doing it! Neither of us know a tidbit about farming. Figuratively living off the land. We could just buy food. Alone to pursue whatever we desire, backed by the vast amounts of wealth we built up. What if we were to run out of gold? And we shall starve together. Either that or we could just go back to our usual trade. I feel like expectations and reality have gotten a little murky here. Could Krinia become the final boss of the farming game? Probably. Yeah, right now that's what I thought. At least someone in chat already said that Time's ending or Basil's ending changes based on his level, so I guess it's based on our relative levels. I call it adapting to circumstances. I do feel a little guilty leaving Krinia and Irene behind, but it is for the best. I wonder where Oriana and Tower are, whether they'll come back. Do they even still live? We haven't heard anything about them in years. Between the two of them, there's nothing in the world that can take them down. They will return to see Krinia, one day. Part of me thinks I should hate them for killing my friend, for cutting short my ambitions, but I can't bring myself to. They must have believed they were doing the right thing. I can't possibly fault them for that, even if it meant... I know Yelunzar's destruction was the catalyst, but I've always wondered, why Ellery? Why not me? I created the golems, I gave the command. Tower, Oriana, the Archsage, they all know that. Because they know you wouldn't have done such a thing yourself. It is wrong to attribute it all to Ellery when I made the decision. Do they really believe that I'm a better person than I really am? Or that Ellery's hold is so absolute that my choice was illusionary? I don't know what they believe, but I fully believe you would never have decided that if not for Ellery. All that you talked about regarding your ideals, they weren't for nothing. I don't know, Palm, but if I had said no, Ellery would not have forced the matter. I don't know what to think about Ellery. The cynical part says she only used us, but I would rather believe our friendship was something more genuine than that. I think Ellery is so manipulative because I think... Didn't Lindros already say no? And Ellery was like, oh, you should think about it a little more, you know? You should think about it a little more. She just kept pushing him. Krinia does have degeneration, but that was kind of solved, right? That was the plot point. I want to believe in the latter, as I can only remember the good she has done for me. If only I had just refused. Could we have still won the war regardless, without Yelunzar's destruction? Would Ellery still be chief, and Oriana, and... Being fixated on the possibilities that never were will only bring you pain. Despite everything, we've got a good life to look forward in the present. You know, that would be an interesting timeline split if you were going to do those anyway. It's like a choice on whether Lindros says yes or no, and like Ellery actually respects the choice. Not that it's really in Ellery's character to do so, right? But let's say you do it anyway. What if the monsters were crucial or not? She asked, he said, I don't know. She said she wants him to do what he wants to do. I feel like, I don't know. I guess with the way Lindros is, if you really want to be a nice person to Lindros, if you really want to be a good person, if you can tell he's super hesitant, you shouldn't kind of goad him into it, because you know how he is. But we know how Ellery is. We've got a good life to look forward to in the present, but I don't know if that's something I deserve to have. No one can tell you what you do and don't deserve. Then let's just let live. Alright, that's probably the best ending for them. Rejoice, citizens. Here is the head of your oppressor. No more shall this cruel and unjust laws plague this land. Brave heroes, it is only through your efforts that evil has been vanquished, and that the people might choose me as protector of this realm. It's hardly a choice when you're the only candidate. Who does? It's Lyn and the Cerulean Crescent. It's about the spirit of things. What reward do you seek for your services to the realm? A simple grant of title and land seems like insufficient acknowledgement. We have no need for that, as we are leaving this realm shortly. Truly? We did state very clearly, many times, that we depart at the end of this conflict. I assumed you were just being polite. And were the reason you got the crown, we have no need to be polite. You two are truly like the heroes from a fairy tale. Those who aid the weak, yet ask for no reward. I'm sure there's still some things you can do for us, such as getting the supplies for the next stretch of our trip. I shall see to it that you're as well supplied as you can possibly be. Don't prepare too much, we only have the... She must be overjoyed that we won't be in our way. Even though we said this over and over again. I suppose she couldn't imagine we'd really take part in the revolution for the sake of it. I have no doubt she plans to turn our departure into some kind of festivity. We've seen the story that some of Ellery's choices were made or changed based on our affection towards units like Rosetta. Yeah. Peacemaker, you say? We did create peace in both endings. I do enjoy the occasional celebration, but not when I'm at the center of it. Power's like the kind of person who doesn't tell anyone his birthday, so that they won't sing for him. We could always slip away in the night, though I do want those supplies first. Are we continuing our journey down the east coast? Tower, I'm thinking it's time to return to the Crescent. I'm not unopposed to this, but you have not considered returning for quite some time. I was afraid of going back, not because of whatever enemies we might have made, but because I didn't want to directly face Crinia and explain why we abandoned her. If Crinia had been harmed because of what we did, I don't know if I could live with that. Indeed, I shoulder the blame for not thinking through the consequences of our decision. But recently, Crinia, I'm sure as you've heard, has been thriving in recent years. She's unified much of the Crescent, almost like another Ellery. I did not want to phrase it that way, but yes, I suppose so. Let's go kill her. This probably could have won without the monsters. It just have been hard and more whole tasks. Yeah, that's the way she seems to see it, right? More people of her own town dying instead of people from Yalunzar. I mean, not all revelries, not all rebellions are equal, right? I do not doubt she might have taken inspiration from her mentor. What if that Crinia who rules is no longer the girl you remember? Then it is what it is. I have lost any right to insert myself into her life after all that. I'm glad to hear this. I feared you might cut yourself on false expectations. I'm not that naive, but there is not a half to this. When the Crescent comes to mind, so does Ellery. So does the lack of anger in her eyes, only resignation, and a good lot of disappointments. But you do not regret doing that. It took me those years up to now to convince myself of that tower. That's the only way I can work up the courage to return to the Crescent. Then if you are decided, let us go. I relish the opportunity to see my granddaughter. Let us help anything that stands in the way of that, even if it is Errand Day. Do we get to see it? Let's see if we get to see it. Hey, Roswick. Unwilling to leave the Crescent which he has called home for decades, Roswick was cut to pieces by the enraged warriors of Errand Day. His efforts in the assassination affected the Crescent more than from his adventuring. Yada yada. Oh, because they were angry because he helped with the attempted assassination. But okay, so they blame him for the assassination. Okay, right, okay. Guard, the legend who never was. She may have died young, but her incredible feats of slaying the Cold Caller in single combat and defeating an army of knights would form the basis for the folk hero Lan the Lance. Oh, so her name is Lance. Lan the Lance. Maurice, doomed loyalist, who fucking died. As one of his few trusted servants, Maurice's king sorely missed his services. With loyalists being a rare commodity, it was not long before the great houses tore the kingdom apart. Sorbet. The Sorbates argued much over how much their time should be distributed, but finally settled. 1 week in Errand Day's library, uncovering the secrets of their existence. The other week committing murders authorized by Crinia. Seems like a good, 50-50 deal. The Empress spent many more years on the verge of ascension, yet she still wavers, unable to bring up the courage to cross that final threshold. Perhaps it will take the end of her lifespan for her to take that ultimate risk. The trailer ending is the best ending in the long run. I don't remember what exactly happens to everyone. That one doesn't even have these written endings, right? Guard's actual name was mentioned. I think so too. I don't think I've seen it before. Again, didn't get Gil. I have no idea who he is. He was in that ending thing. Weirdly. Let's see if this is better for Hellicent. Hellicent leveraged her time in Ellery's service to become an advisor to a minor noble house. Tales of her genius grew alongside tales of her disloyalty as she frequently found better employment. A bitter client had her executed. Okay, the other ending was better for her. She was on a good way, but then this happened. I think this is the same. Yep. The Travelings of Kalugo and Zio was an insightful manuscript into that era. Glad their shit didn't change. A lot of our guys after that ending though. Yeah. That's a dead Pomelo, a dead Crinia, dead Lindros. Zubobai disappeared after the war. She reappeared years later, then disappeared and reappeared for centuries, under a new identity each time. She has been a prophet, a hero, an adventurer, a Unari, sleazy hero. Did her title change? In the wake of Ellery's death, Unari found an even more demanding opponent. With Crinia intent on Frosthaven's destruction and without regard for the consequences, it would be an even harsher decade for this unfortunate city. feel like Frosthaven has never been a priority of anyone ever, except for Unari. Such a non-place. With the Crescent useless to her, Yvatne returned to the mainland. She learned to discard the mentality of a knight and stir up discontent from the shadows. It would not be long before she got the war she wanted. Okay, Yvatne, chill. With Tower gone, unsure what to do with himself, he returned to the feuding sects. Okay, that's the same ending. So a lot of people have different endings, but not everyone. Hagen Dyer's abrasive nature earned him no friends in Erenday, but people begrudgingly admitted he was a skilled administrator. He was frequently the man most grumbled about, but there was never a call to be rid of him. I don't think he gets an okay ending both ways. Willful Joe continues to preach the principles of non-interference. He wrote a book. Right, yeah. Culinary tourist John the 16th decided to aimlessly tour the world with the goal of trying fresh cuisines. She was particularly fond of Sundown-based pastries. Coincidentally, these appearances seemed to pop up in whatever place she just visited. Alex was different? It was the same, right? Am I crazy? He went to... okay, so it was like slightly different, but it kind of still happened anyway. Like... Okay, hold on, let me pause it for a second for Foxberry. So the Tower Gone sentence was different, true. But I think Lilac still returned to the sects, was pushed into a spot he didn't really want to be, right? I think it's roughly the same. Joyful Joe's was different. Oh, my bad. Sorry. It's a lot of reading. I'll try not to skip him. Foxberry was free to present her accounts of the events of the Crescent as fact. This infamous work was what made Foxberry would be known for, despite her major contributions to mapping out so much of the Crescent. Alright, she was a cartographer as well. Igo, honorary Arcsage. Satisfied with a small but prized collection, Igo began to teach classes on his studies of several decades. Many of his students became great mages, an incredible feat considering Igo never learned how to cast magic. But he didn't become the sect master? Huh, okay. The spirit escaped north with Tower and Oriana, but before the spirit could not find Ellery in the So Wisp was killed in the battle, but the ending doesn't look like it was. Interesting. I mean, the NPCs could clearly see Wisp, which is different. Tazel's business expanded as its operations to all sorts of goods under his watchful eye. He profited immensely off the kingdom's civil wars, selling arms to each side of the conflict. He was hated by all, but he was wealthy. Looks like he's good either way. Could help Ellery in the waterfall, I guess. Doomed was turned to ashes. Ashes to ashes. Like Krynian in an instant. Her family, the Ironsmiths, were also the first to be purged as an example to others who might dare to challenge Krynia. I feel like Krynia is almost like more brutal than Ellery is. Couldn't save Ellery in the end, yeah. The pair settled down in a remote village and spoke rarely of their past. Despite their best efforts, each of their 4 children was unsatisfied with a quiet life, each setting out with a dream to make a mark on the world. Yeah, that's a fair way to fill it in. Jeff was the only option he felt he had. Basil attempted to assassinate his sister. He was killed instantly, a fate he felt he deserved. That's the same one. Like, though, this is the same, right? This is going to be slightly different. Time kept control of Sundown Bay for some time, but when Krynia came east, the people of the Bay banded together to welcome their new leader, who had to be better than Time. She narrowly escaped a lynching and vanished. So if I recall, Time kept control of Sundown Bay in Ellery's ending too, and only had to give it to someone else. Ellery didn't even like directly control Sundown Bay, it seems like. Even after Time fled, she still was allowing someone else to do it, to delegate. Plucker doesn't kill you, it erases you. I mean, that still doesn't mean Wisp can't be a spirit. It just doesn't really explain, That's true. I see what you mean. I don't remember her connection to Plucker in the first place. John, after the conflict, John disappeared. No one knows where they went except for a mysterious note that said Cerulean coast. Chickson chosen chef. Though Chickson could never taste his own dishes and never understood the concept of hygiene, still became a famed chef. Its signature dish was Gateway to Paradise, a 20-layer pastry drenched in custard and Pegasus cream. Why the fuck is his ending different? Yeah, she was forced out in both, but Ellery let her have the town, whereas Crinia just straight up took it over. At some point. Ellery forced time out because she was a bad ruler. Crinia forced time out because it seems like she's just expanding her own rule. Left to her own devices, Murky would spend years perfecting her art, on participants both willing and unwilling. Her final experiment was on herself. The horrifying results of this was immortalized in history as a warning. Ellery planned to kill time in last Gaiden. I think, yeah, she did. Goodbye, Quilon, lost to history. Asiel, lifelong pilgrim. Searched for years and years, looking for a reason to be chosen. She only returned to Anon as an old woman, and found Anon exactly as she left it. A rustic town in the Crescent. It was a satisfying life, nonetheless. Right, so under Ellery, Anon flourishes more? Huh. Whipjack gambled away all the funds he had built up at Ellery's surface. With a shrug, he returned to the roads, living life as he did before. The only difference is that his tall tales now have a hint of truth to them. Asiel is like the most boring ending in this one. The most still one. Franziska found a better way of making lots of gold, having other people make lots of gold for her. Her mercenary company, I remember that one, was the largest on the Crescent, covering matters from rescuing kittens to guarding trade ships. Right, she had like an agency that she kind of tricked Whipjack into. Marlowe continued to live a breezy life in Irenday, funding his alcohol expenditure by selling off his tomes. His almost indecipherable scribbling gave rise to the magic school of Marlowism, embracing a lack of uniformity and structure. Ellery said himself, Crinia would be a better chief ruler because she's more cruel than her and stronger. Makes sense. Somewhat. You do still need to be like, not cruel to everyone, or else they're just gonna revolt. But I guess it's hard to revolt against a freaking dragon. She declined to teach any more students and instead devoted herself to the arts. Her sword techniques, said to be unrivaled among sword masters, would never be passed down, but a few of her paintings would survive. That's very different. The Crescent's back into the Civil War and doesn't develop because of the constant conflict. Yeah, oh, well, yeah, that's it. That's probably a good way to summarize it, yes. Crinia spent the next decade reconquering every corner of the Crescent, embodying the spirit of Inde. She was immensely frustrated by the rebels that kept seeming to pop up, but one day she thought she will kill them all. Right, that's what she said. She doesn't know how to rule. She just knows how to conquer. All at once, 10,000 realms received the prophecy of the Red One, who shall bring about the end of all ends. Meanwhile, the discarded thing follows Crinia's home. Perhaps one day, he'll be something more than a mere husk. Same ending? Never figured out how to be the best. Incredible dances. That's the same ending, right? Like, come on. Shoutouts traveled to the mainland and hit sect politics with all the grace of a warhammer. She formed her own faction within the sect, bringing the fresh perspective of I'll beat you over the head with a staff if you don't listen. Yo, Sen's message got deleted? Rip Rinos. Oh, it's chickens. While defending his sister, Talon was among the many turned to dust by Crinia during that night of destruction. He still remembered for his wanderings as a duelist. Yo, the guy died. While Yvette missed the large-scale wars on the Crescent, she found entertainment in bounty hunting. She particularly enjoyed the month-long hunts, tracking down and slaying dissenters to Crinia's rule. The greatest prey. Better ending for her, for sure. The rest of his other ending, if you obtain the best of the million, he basically ascends. Oh! That's deep. I don't remember if Cerulean was particularly good at killing him, though. Riker joined Irenay's town guard, but a life defending the town from mundane strangers was a far cry from his ideal adventure. One day he abandoned his post, saddled his horse, and went north, never looking back. That guy never gets a good ending. Raylan spent all of her gold buying up as much land in Irenay as possible. When raiders came to Irenay once more, none fought more fiercely than Raylan, with the value of her property on the line. Few dared dodge her deaths after that. Good shit, Raylan, good shit. Many would challenge Krinia's claim to the Crescent, and many would be slain by her most loyal enforcer. Gecko's heart was heavy each time she killed for Krinia, but she would say nothing. This was her role in the world. Ouch. It took a few years for Mince to bounce back, but bounce back he did. The town celebrated Mince's return into the culinary business. His restaurant was a safe haven during Irine's darkest hours, Mince defending it with his life. Yay, good ending for Mince. Don't forget, in Dune's epilogue, it is listed, but once she's killed by Krinia, Krinia went to eradicate her bloodline. Tell us part of this. Yeah, true. Tired of the bloodshed plaguing the Crescents, the pair retreated to his secluded abode where they lived the rest of their days in peace. Their combined innovations, uncovered after their deaths, would throw the world into disarray. Whatever, at least they weren't here to hear it. Tower, the untoppled. 10 innings depending on who recruited him. Really, damn. Tower was never one to admit defeat, even against the passage of time. Even as he and Oriana became more infamous, he ensured no situation was ever truly dangerous enough. Nothing can possibly topple the tower. Bro died strong. Oriana's journey took her across the world, obeying no authority and dispensing her own justice whenever she saw fit. Tales of the Swordswoman and the Old Warrior spread, their names haunting many a local despot. Ellery, burned candle. While Ellery remained a controversial figure in the history of the Cerulean Crescent, her rapid rise and fall would become the subject of many plays. They were evenly split on her depiction as a tragic hero or a wicked villain. I read this previously, but thank you for making it. Greatly enjoyed it. But I think that speaks for itself. Right! That's it! That is the Crescent beaten. I don't know if I'll ever get to, like, what's it called? I don't know if I'd ever do, like, Misery mode, but that's, like, one more thing you could do if you wanted to replay this, but add some challenge to it. Or play Mellow mode if you don't want to think, I guess. Those are all options. With that said, I did promise in the pins that we'd do a tier list. So we're going to do a tier list. Let me set that up real quick. I also got to set up some music. I think this has a sound room, doesn't it? I'm glad it's that one. I think this is the final track. To be honest, ideology is not great. It's basically might makes right, but trust me, I try to be ethical. Yeah, I mean, she acknowledges that her ethics are not entirely objectively correct or anything. She just does what she thinks is best because she knows she can't do a whole lot more. Does this music play early game too? Crescent Tears Maker. I had it prepped, sort of. Sort of. Has some old portraits, if you're curious. Can't do anything about that. We'll just have to live with the fact that some portraits look different. I believe in you, chat. You can handle different portraits. Okay, I'm not going to stretch it. I'm just going to remove my broccoli warning. Here we go. You've seen it all, Ellery Tower. Honestly, I feel like Oriana's ending, or Tower's ending, whatever you want to call it, has better endings from more people, and more people that I care about, specifically Lindros and Pomelo. So I probably have to pick that. Have the Tower? Yeah, he looks a little different here. Okay, is the music fine still? I'm gonna change the track if we get tired of this one. Okay. So I've sort of got some thoughts. I think in S tier I'm just gonna throw the people that I think are absolutely broken first, and then I'll put like people that have some kind of extra turn mechanic in A probably, that are relatively early or that are broken some other way. And I'll maybe throw like people that have Canto plus or some other kind of good tools in B. And then we'll throw the rest into like C and D. I might not end up putting anyone in D because most characters in this hack seem to be good, but we'll see. But let me know in chat if you agree or not. So I guess I'll do a Discord notification too for the tier list because everyone loves tier list. I think everyone who watches this is like already into it though, if you know what I mean. Tier list time. Okay. So, Ellery, I'll be his S tier. Insanely good. 4 ways. No reason not to set it up because it's so good. Broke my brain sometimes trying to figure one out, but it's always worth it. Hold on, I want to have a little bit of water here. There you go. That's better. I feel like the design of the gameplay itself says it's like a bunch of really good units, but then like 1 or 2 centralizing personal weapons. And I think Ellery is definitely one of them. Or like, yo, what up, Xander? How far are you now? Gil should go in G tier for Gil. Maybe. I'm gonna forget some names, I apologize. But yeah, Ellery, insanely good. Orianna too. I had some thoughts about whether Ellery, like, Orianna's better than Ellery, but nah, probably not. I do think Orianna's way easier to be good, so like, very easy to just take Orianna and let her do something that's really insane, which is just dancing for someone else. Like, that alone, if she was just a dancer that did nothing else besides, like, just dancing one other person, not even herself, she'd still be here, I think. But because of everything else she does, it's, like, even better. I haven't played since the incident. Rip. Tower, I have no idea how good he is long term, because I didn't really use him a whole lot. There are a lot of stabs that he can probably use that are really good. That I just didn't really make use of. Like, I used what's-her-face for a long time. I think she's different about her for a long time. And Tower could probably do most of the same things, so I'll throw him in A for now, just because he's around for so long and seems so good. And a special promotion also really helps. He does promote, like, somewhat, like, early enough to be good enough at it. Yeah, the lack of movement range kind of sucks, and I do think that you don't need that many staff users, so, like, once Nerissa comes around, there might not be that much utility for him, but we'll see where he ends up in the end. Pomelo, I think, is decent, but he was one of the first characters that I felt comfortable benching just because I didn't need it. I do think he is, like, very usable even without a whole lot of training, so you can easily, like, weave him in and out of your deployment order and still contribute just because the AoE things are so good. I didn't buy his personal cannon, but I know it's pretty good. Yeah, flying too is really great for Orianna. Honestly, one of the most, like, comfortable S tiers in this. So I'm not sure what to make of, like, Pomelo, but I think he's fine. Yeah, I'll just throw him in B for now. That seems fine with me. But I do think it's really good. Like, if you put Pomelo in any other Fire Emblem game, he'd be like S tier. With a repairable PRF that just damages enemies all around with that much range, it's so nice. Also, Pomelo is very easy to combine with Ellery's 4-way early on. That makes him really good too. Lindros, I think if you give him, like, the right tomes, which I didn't really do all the time, then he can potentially be one of the best contributing units. Because the ability to just lunge an enemy into a 4-way for Ellery is just so nice. I often have trouble making it 4-way. Lindros makes him a lot easier. And then he has staff utility and the magic to, like, just 2-shot things and use a brave weapon. So in theory, he's really good. And he doesn't really have the problem that a lot of units have where he falls behind. But yeah, his lone combat isn't very good. So if you have, like, the high enemy density maps, I don't think he does a whole lot besides staff utility and maybe, like, the occasional lunge. But on maps where he's just picking off individual enemies, I think he's really good. So yeah, I'm fine with him in A. I might even put him over Tower. I'll try to mildly order them within a tier. Mince, another unit that I benched pretty early, then started using again with the Red Split, which I think is a really great way to, what's it called? To, like, make units relevant that weren't relevant before, like the auto leveling, and then the option to just promote them instantly and give them utility. I do think my Mince was still very disappointing. Even though I used him in the early game, I didn't get that much training on him. And then the auto level just brought him to 15, and he was still, like, kind of fine. even when he got the skills from the secret, he gets bow range +1 and what was it? Close counter? Whatever it's called. It still wasn't that great. His speed was really bad for me. I don't know if that's random chance or if he's always that bad. So I'm not sure if I put him like that high. I also don't think Swarp is that good. Maybe I've been underrating him, but like, let's say in theory that Mince fell behind on movement somehow, and he swarps with someone, and that someone else is like just way behind. And I guess you could like swap him with Wisp or something, but I feel like it just gives gives up his turn, where he could be doing something good. Provoke. Does he get that too? Provoke is pretty good, but only if he's like good at fighting stuff. I don't know if anyone else is like. I know some people that sit in chat. They had a really good Mince, and it worked well. Oh yeah, Magic Bows works too. I did see that yours is like similar attack to Yosef. Mystery Mode Iron Man. How about no? No. How about we throw him in B for now? B over Pomelo? Because I don't know, I don't think it's A, personally. The skills he does only get like after a long while. Like, does anyone else think Swarp is not very good? Because I don't think it's very good. Gecko I'll throw in A. Swarp Chicken, I guess. But with Chicken, like, until the final ascension, you kind of have to hide Chicken behind the front lines all the time, like in a place away from enemies. Like Swarp a lot in 3 houses, where you put it in the spot for enemy phase, but this game is still enemy phase combat. Yeah. I don't even like Swarp that much in 3 houses in the first place. I like my player phase turns for something else. Yeah, I don't know. I had some trouble with Gecko even after she was leveled up a fair bit. Mine didn't get a whole lot of speed. I think Xander has the same problem. I think he's worse than Pomelo. Mince? Sure. I'm fine with that. Maybe she's even worse than Lindros too. I don't even think Swarp is that good turn 1. Because turn 1 you're in the formation, right? What are you gonna Swarp with? Before with Swarp Chicken swarping back. Yeah, okay, so you can like put him in a very far forward position turn 1, I guess. And then you also save Chicken from... Yeah, true. That's legit. Because it also helps you keep Chicken safe. Okay, so yeah, like I think Gecko is fine. Like, good A tier. Guild Force is obviously super powerful. The feeding kind of sucks. No one has to be fed that badly. I think Gecko's a she. But yeah, I also noticed a lot I was doubling with Frying Pan and not without. But the Frying Pan is there. And most chapters ended with like some Frying Pans left. Raiden I tried to use for a while and I benched her. It was kind of good. I played with her for like 1 chapter after Route Split, maybe 2. And then benched her for some other candidates, but she seemed fine. I gave her the plus crit protection skill by accident. That never really came up, I think. She was okay. I think the Ronald dagger is nice, but other people can use it too. So it's not really like a thing for her, but because it's in our joining inventory, I associate it with her. I think Kanto Plus is really good though. More on Ellery's parts than Oriana's parts, but pre-Route Split obviously works with Ellery. Because it's very easy to put her in a spot where she can do things twice, because if Ellery wants to make like an awkward 4-way with some terrain around, she could just always go on that terrain and get put in there. And Kanto Plus makes it easy to like attack something else and then get revitalized. Yeah, you get a ton of magic swords, which I think she can use pretty well. So I'll throw her like here or something, I don't know. And Whitewater. On who? Oh, Swarp. Oh, yeah. Wait, Whitewater works on Mince? Anyway. Hold up. Chat is going fast now. I'm trying to keep up. Honestly, all the characters in Hack Foods, it can be OP if you play and level them. Except Gale stuff from the comments again. It sounds like the creator really disliked him. Yeah. I mean, you gotta have a joke character somewhere. Riker, I thought he'd be really good when I got him. Does I remember correctly, he's like, if you're over 75% HP, he's brave? Let's put on a different track. We're like 50 characters in. Oh yeah, no, I agree. Whitewater staffing is great with anyone, including Lindros. Marth base stats, really? Million at home? Yeah, but it's still like Kanto plus when you have Ellery around is so good that I can't really put him that low. I'll throw him like here, I guess. Yvette didn't get to use a whole lot, but that PRF is really good. I guess because there's not a whole lot of enemy phasing going on, we can not penalize her too heavily for the bows. And like the crocodile is pretty good. She killed multiple things per turn. Longbow means it's easy to put her in 4 ways. She seems kind of decent. I put her like low A, high B maybe. I think she's worse than Pomelo though, maybe. Poverty Chicken, yeah. Although with Riker, at least you can put him in any phase early on. You can't really do that with Chicken until he gets like more skills. I do think Riker's better than Defet, honestly. I don't know. I feel like all these are a little interchangeable. I do think Pomelo is the best of them though. Talon, mine got screwed. I do think Fair Fight is really good, and again, really easy to put in 4 ways, because I think it has 1 to 3. And it just gives him an extra turn for free. Like, that's just really nice. He was fording, but he literally never gained strength. But his growth also wasn't too good. And it's like, you can give him high might lances. I often use like heavy spear to make up for it. It worked quite well. Harpoon 2 was really good. I feel like Riker has the tools to work alright. Talon, I think honestly might be the lowest B here, but maybe it could be better. I do think Fair Fight is really good, but later on it probably gets a bit worse as you start one-running things. She... Oh yeah, the ballistas. I forgot about those. I never used them really. What's her name again? Oh yeah, the 100% crit on Talon too. I had some trouble getting reliable crits even with that ability, but it's pretty nice. It was surprisingly rare for me to have a turn to do this. Oh yeah, Chalice. That's right, Chalice. I didn't use her. I know Xander got a really good Chalice though, with like good defense actually. I think the staffing is good. It was a little hard to keep up with her, but there's no denying that I did use the heals a lot. You get some like okay stabs early on. I think that were nice to have. I think you get a remedy fairly early. Tell him to see, maybe, or a staff user. I feel like if we get Lindros a lot of credit for late staffing, we should give Chalice some credit for the same amount. I didn't really use her PRF even that much because like I think our movement was just too low to keep up most of the time. And she's not a unit you put out there to fight a lot. Yeah, we'll see if C tier ends up getting anyone at all. I feel like Chalice also belongs in like the B tier somewhere. Like let's put her here, I guess, next to Bro. Yosaf, I don't know. I thought it was a bit of a meme unit, but it's honestly I think the fact that he has 2 skills that are both really good. Yeah, oh true, that's 1 to 3 range, that's true. We'll do like this. I think Yosef is really good. I think that's the HP is easy to stack with like defensive bonuses to make him really tanky. Attacking before enemies counters means he's like gonna stay at full HP for player phase usually. There's a lot of good axes in the game. You get that magical axe that I didn't even get. He's the best. Rock Stonks is Rock Stonks. Like just, is it like 3 or 4 attacks that just hit from so far away that give him an extra turn. You can just Oko like mages with it. I think, I don't think he's S though, but I do think he might be like up here. 4 attacks with a Brave. Yeah, stuff like that is really good. This joined a bit later than Gecko, but he starts off a lot better too. Mine might have gotten Strength Blessed though, to be fair. Mine did feel a bit better than a lot of people said theirs was, but he's really fast. He doubles a lot of shit too. And then he has the Might of Access to just make up for a lowish strength. Or you could just give him strength boosters, you know, those exist. Those benefit him a lot. Oh yeah, Mansplitter, I didn't even use that on him. That's so much might too. Bows later on, I didn't really use it that much, but occasionally I would use like the Arcane Bow, right? Or the Incendiary Bow. Maybe he doesn't want to use stabs, he wants to refresh. Well, you can like... There were like occasions where I'd have Ellery use a Warp or Rescue. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's... There is a demand for staff utility because you don't want to... If you can use your staffs to free up Ellery's action to do a 4-way, then that's a winning trade. Yosef is just the best, alright? I mean, you get a fair amount of whatever the strength booster is called. You can always just give him more strength, because if he's doubling or quadrupling, then that's worth doing. Speaking of give strength boosters, good old Chicken. Can we put Chicken in S tier? No, the LTC doesn't use him, but I feel like the chicken deserves to be S tier. Like, come on. Come on. I think he's only really S tier in like the final chapters where he has the most ascensions of all. But even before then, Astral Strike Assassinations with like the massive movement Kanto, maybe with Plucker's Gift and Ellery's 4-way, he's still really good. I think at worst he goes like somewhere here, but we gotta put Chicken in S tier. We just have to. Yeah, I don't know why they gave him Desperation on top of the terrain sniping for Yosef. It's so insane. There's so much overlap in weapons. Yeah, true. They're both axe bow, I guess. I do think Yosef is a fair bit better than Minz, though. I mean, I always set up kills for Ellery too, but the thing is, like, usually enemies are in like kind of groups, and my Ellery wasn't always one killing either. But surely someone in that 4-way has the time to set up a kill for Ellery there. There isn't always 4 enemies around for her to help out with, or like for her. Someone is probably not doing anything if they aren't weakening the enemy that Ellery's gonna kill. Yeah, exactly. You can avoid the Mansplitter's downside pretty well. We got a lot of favoritism. He has no refresh. Well, he's kind of like the easiest unit to get to refresh with Ellery, right? He also has, I didn't do this a whole lot, but you can Feather Fury to set up a kill for Ellery to guarantee that your unit doesn't crit kill the enemy in first. If Verm is S, Gecko is S. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it was easier to set up kills for Verm than it was for Gecko. And sure, Gecko has better durability, but it's not good before she's fed. And Verm gets a lot of these ascensions for free. But I don't remember exactly how good Verm was when he first joined, to be fair. I only remember him when he was just like one-running everything left and right. There were a couple strength boosters given, for sure. But endgame he was totally overkill and everything. I don't know, chat, what do you think? Do I lower him? I don't think Gecko is S tier, to be fair. I said I would put like the absolute best units in S tier. And then everyone here is like gets extra turns for themselves, or is just really good. Looking back, I don't know if she belongs here actually. I feel like these 3 are like significantly better than Raylan and Tower, but maybe I'm wrong. Whoever's as with your tier list. Thank you. Gecko's already self-sufficient by this point. You gave Verm, you don't have that many other XP targets. Yeah, the thing with the XP in this game is I feel like soft ceiling is very hard, so I don't think it really matters too much that you're trying to feed XP to. In fact, it's very easy to concentrate experience with units that work well with Ellery's 4-way, and I think just both of these are like that. In fact, I would say Verm is more like that, because Guild Force doesn't really have great synergy with Ellery's 4-way. Because you'd have to like go out, kill something, Guild Force, back to formation, kill something there. I didn't really find that often useful. Without training or events, secret events. Yeah, but this assumes that we do secret events at least. Training, I mean, there's no unit here that doesn't last without training. Okay, let's see what else we do. Krinia, I think, is S tier. At first, she kind of sucks, but you can probably delay most of the training that you do. We'll put her over Chicken too. I think you can delay most of the training you do with her until she gets the Dragon Breath. And you can do a bunch of Dragon Breathing in her joining in that chapter where she has infinite uses. And then you just use it whenever you want to and you just kill things. Seems pretty good. Yeah, like a lot easier to feed than Gecko, I think. I do think there were some enemies that could kill her when she has the Infinite Dragon transformation, but it's still like, she's still so good. And once you get to later, there's only like 5 threatening enemies on each side of the map, and if you can kill 4 of those with Krinia, then it just becomes a joke. Yeah, Gecko promotes to like her normal tier earlier, but she still needs to get like to 20 for the next one, which I think is another big downside to her, is you don't get the Dread Fighter for quite a while. I had trouble getting her to that second promotion for a long time. Krinia too, but Krinia didn't need it as much. This bro, what's his name? I didn't use him a whole lot. He was alright though. I think I put him in like high B. I keep forgetting the names. Let's do a different track again. I want to know his name. Bro. So he's like a mounted mage with like 6 or 7 move, I forgot, but he's Kanto plus. Oh, he's the one that inflicts status. Marlowe, yeah, Marlowe. Thought it was alright. Kind of similar to Riker and Friends, maybe. I feel like mounts are always a plus to this. There's rarely like a super amount of terrain to like reduce their effectiveness anyway. Too complicated to use. Every character's like that, to be fair. Bench. Beast for bench. I don't know, maybe Self-Refresh is better than Marlowe. Yeah, he does seem alright. One of those characters I would definitely use again, or like try to use if I replayed this game, like many. But I don't see anything all like really wrong with him. I don't remember what his stats were like though, so we'll just say B. Rahisia I thought was really good. I didn't really use her for a whole lot, but I probably put her around here. Like 100% crit on initiation is just so good in this player phase kind of based game. And she required no training to get there, unlike some of the other units here. So at least we gotta put her this high. I know she fell off, but surely if I kept using her, she'd be better, right? Were her growth bad? Yeah, like the magic has so many like purposes in this that surely you can find a way for Marlowe to be good once you get the good shops. Like I agree. I was talking with Xander in Patreon VC, and he was like, "Yeah, magic in general is just really good in this." Later, Draco Zombie. Have a good night. And yeah, I'll be doing something else this Saturday. We're probably gonna do some draft race practice. Then I'll see what I'm doing for my next project. I don't actually know yet. Growth are good. You didn't level her. Okay, then she's really good. She's one of the very few pre-promotes you have in the early game, besides like Tower. I do think she's better than Tower. I also think she's better than Raylan too. They're kind of like opposites. Like she gets better later on. She's really good early on, and then I don't know if she falls off, but she's definitely not competing with a Guild Force Gecko later on. There's 2 endings, Volk. You have a lot to watch. There's not a level much during time skip. You probably aren't leveling her any during time skip, right? If you use her at all, she's gonna get 1 level, and then you level to 15. So the endings were great. Yeah, this was a long series. When did I start the first one? I'm gonna see real quick. I can just check the playlist, right? Cerulean Crescent, 15 videos. This is not as many as I thought it were. Let's see, we started on November 20. So a little less than 3 months ago. That is pretty long for a stream series. But ROM hacks always take some more time. We just got... I'm really close to putting her in S tier, but I don't think she was quite there. I think she's more like a high A. Like maybe here somewhere. I do think Kanto plus flying is just so good again with units that are with Ellery. Was she was on Ellery's route as well, which I think really helps her as well. But I guess you could also just... The same synergy applies to like having Oriana on your team. Yeah, a couple weeks before Christmas. It was November, I think. Like November 20? I just closed the tab. November 20, 2024. What is the yellow? Made this sword defense unable to crit. That's fair. Ronald Dagger is also really good. Just in general, every weapon type has something really good. Makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I think Francesca is insane. I don't think I used up the Francesca a whole lot because I was afraid I might need it later and it never happened. And then there's also like 50 other good axes. Like that, there's that one axe that you get from Nate that has like 95 crit and like 15,000 might. I didn't use that one up either. Like it suddenly just the game was over and I still had like 15 uses left of it. There's so many good weapons in this game, like holy shit. If I'm ever playing this again, I'm using a good weapon every turn of every character I have, just to see if I can use up what I have. Lance is getting Guild Force weapon. Well, it's sometimes a little hard to get up the Seahawk flag. But sure. But I don't know. I don't think Francesca really minds not having lances when you have axes. I think axes might be better than lances, despite the Seahawk flag. Depends on how many lance users you have too, because you have like one guild. You have only one Seahawk flag for a little bit. And if you have multiple lance users, then only one gets to use it, right? Whereas you always get to use one good axe somewhere. Umbrals are crazy. I never use umbrals that much. I put them on units a lot, but they often end up not being better than other options or not being the best at all. We had like 3 games to split the cast between them. I mean, maybe. There's basically three parts to the game if you think about it. Yeah, Francesca and her axe named the same is really good. We still don't know why she named her axe that. Well, I can guess though. Whipjack, I think it's our first C. I think most people probably didn't use Whipjack at all. I did deploy him at base for like 1 or 2 chapters and still like thought he was pretty good. Like his attack is obviously really high, but he's like the first unit we have here that has lowish availability or lower availability than all the others. Well, no, because we're doing a deployment order, but I feel like it joins a little bit later and then also has mobility issues, but he still has really good attack power, so I still don't think he's bad. It's just that the rest of the units are so broken, but no revitalizing mechanic. And I mean, swords are nice. Like, I don't think there's any weapon type in this game that's bad, but swords would be my favorite here. But his personal's good. Oh, right, it was the name of throwing axe. I think we've had this fact told to me many times, and I keep forgetting. You are right. He plays really well with his personal. Yeah, he's good. I kind of don't want to put him in B, because, like, I feel like he is worse than most units here. Also, like, any phasing with your personal is a little tricky when it only has, like, 6 uses, but I suppose that's all you need in this game. CL, I think, user. The log seemed really good, but I forgot what all it could do. I remember in our joining chapter it was kind of nice to have the log. I think it was like reposition and pass on the log. But I don't remember anything about her as a unit. I just remember the log Mancy being pretty cool. Where do we put SCL chat? C or B? She seems decent to me. I don't really have a strong preference for her because I haven't used her. Oh yeah, his magic is 0, right? For Whipjack. Yeah, the magic swords in this game are really good and really common, so it would be nice. 53 playable characters? Not that many. How many do we have here? Like left here? 5, 10, 15, 30, 36? Okay, maybe it is that many. Oh yeah, light magic is pretty good, I guess. True. Magic always is. I'd almost play this again. Almost. I do think I'd enjoy the second playthrough a lot less now that I know the whole story. Although it's fun to like reread the story sometimes and get the foreshadowing. But like I tried replaying Vision Quest a while back and I just couldn't get further than the beginning. I was like, oh, let me just go do something else now. I mean, do you need to turn to set up the log? Does she get a bonus from it? She does, right? Oh yeah, I need to get to the end game convo. I kind of want to check it out now, but unfortunately didn't leave warp. Alright, let's say you have a magic stat. We go here. Seems good to me. IB, yeah, maybe. Hard to make an order here. Quilon, I thought she was really good. I just didn't really bother using her for the most part. But the fact she's around for like the entire time and just always able to set up something good is nice. I do think the buffs she gives are like a little overkill. I think Zeo's are easier to use than hers because she has to like be adjacent to someone else while doing it, but like with 5 range, surely you can make it work. And then she just has a magic stat and like magic and everything. I think she's better than most of these units, honestly. We put her in A? We could put her in A, right? That seems really good to me. Maybe not better than like these units here. As if you're a gamer, otherwise C. In that case, I'm happy with putting her in A. Yeah, it's pretty impressive that yeah, you are distinct for sure. S tier, you think so? I mean, I'm not gonna argue otherwise, probably. Healing? She heals? Oh yeah, she has passive healing, right? With her ability. That's not the same as like her healing, but sure. I don't know, I didn't really feel like she was... The buffing and debuffing I think is kind of minor. Magic Flyer, we only have Magic Flyer for literally like one chapter, right? Where does she fly when she gets her pay rise? I forgot. Because remember at some point she does turn into a flying bard, but isn't that like an end game only? No, monsters are funny, okay? Depending on what you mean. This is a monster. He's not boring. He heals 33 when she attacks AoE. I don't know, it's nuts. Sure. I don't even find healing that great in this game, but in the early game it was pretty good, I guess. You have flying way sooner. Okay. You also have Draconic Hex, but I don't think Draconic Hex is that great. Alright, who thinks she should be S tier? Chat. Well, she's level 20. Oh, right. That custom promo. Oh, I got that late because I didn't use her. That's right. You can get flying way earlier. Hold up. Okay. No Canto Plus? SMH. I do think the light S-rank spell is really insane. Edore's a monster. Not boring as well. Edori is one of my favorite characters in fiction, okay? Do not call her a monster. This stuff can fly because the monster can lie on the ground and rot. What? Me. Hey. Firmer's a monster? Firmer's a chicken, actually. Believe it or not. Alright, I'll throw an A, I'll throw an S. I'll throw an S. Murky. I don't know, the knife looks pretty cool. The S-rank knife. The 100% crit is pretty cool. Healing is okay, I guess. Or like here. Somewhere. Seem okay. Valkyrie promotion is good. But like, half this tier uses magic, so it's hard to really distinguish here. Any opinions on Murky? They joined in the same chapter as Quilon, right? So fairly early still. Use Draconic Hex herself. Oh, true, because you can like hit someone with 5 range with the thing, and then you get another turn, half the time-ish, and then you just kill the enemy. She probably already kills the enemy if she's trained anyway, because light magic is that good. So I don't know if the Draconic Hex itself is good, but if she can kill the enemy, that's pretty good. I guess it's good against bosses. Buff everyone around you, debuff the boss, guaranteed kill. There were some bosses that were like a little hard to kill, I guess. You didn't use her? Yeah. At this point, I think you're already like, oh god, there's like 50 now. Look at how big the roster is already. This is like chapter, what, 12 that we're at? Yeah, probably. No one used Murky. Gotcha. Okay. So Broccoli meet this. Are all these monsters you can make in the Build-A-Bear machine? They are, right? Okay, I did think John... I mean, these are so customizable, it's impossible to like tier all variants, if that's the case. I did think that was pretty cool that I could just like bench John for the entire freaking game, and then just deploy him for a warp skip later on. And because he had the turn 1 like kill everything skill, he could just like kill an end game boss with almost no effort. Because of like plus 60 attack plus 100% crit. Whatever it was. That was pretty cool. So John is like S tier for that. Different Johns you can have? Yeah, I figured. I don't know how good the other ones are. I'm throwing my John in S tier because he's based. Nah, not even worth a joke. I'll throw them all in C. How about that? This one too, right? I don't know what this is. I know what this guy is. Is that like a Cyclops? No way, right? No way to let you have a Cyclops after you already got Yosef. Make a dragon though. Or is this a gargoyle? Right. That's a pretty cool portrait. I expected the other one. Oh, the Mildoon. Oh, okay. Those are pretty cool. You have Canto Plus. Use Murky. She's very good because she can just kill a few units for free after a point whenever you don't need to heal. Oh, right, because she gets plus 100 crit if you have an injury, right? I think that's like really good if you have AoE on your team. Like if you use like Fireball or something. But if you don't AoE enemies, then you're just two-shotting enemies, which is something that already everyone can do. A Horse John, yay. I have some thoughts on Chixin. So almost every map that I used him, I was like, let me set up kills for Chixin ASAP. Because if you don't aggressively set up kills for Chixin ASAP, then he just falls behind. Even with the flying, it's just too annoying to keep up, and he doesn't really double anything. But I did think it was very nice in some of the enemy dense chapters that you could just like have Chixin kill something and put him in the middle of things. Like, and even if he doesn't kill everything, weakening enemies is so good on enemy phase, because then you can just like set up an easy 4-way for Ellery, get an easy kill for like your these kind of characters, Zio. Like basically just a bunch of weakened enemies is just really nice for a lot of characters, because they can set up kills, like profits for themselves that way. And his enemy phase is so good because he has so much defense, his optional 1 to range, etc. I do really like this character. But I also think that a lot of the time I end up like, after 3 or so kills, you don't really need to set up a whole lot more, and the reward for going from like 8 move to 10 move wasn't really that big. I was just doing it for the fun of it. But if I didn't need a big enemy phase somewhere, there wasn't a whole lot he needed to do. It was just more just feeding him because it was fun. Sword! Thunderclap is really good, yeah, he does one out with that. I do feel like you want to trade him to a different weapon after he Thunderclaps if you're facing like tough enemies, but sometimes you could survive with just the Defend buff and Thunderclap. The bugs are a little weird. I wonder if this is ever going to get fixed, where he uses like, hits on res on player phase and then switches to physical on enemy phase without trading. I think he's fine. He just joined like a fair bit later than some of the early characters. But I can throw him in. It is kind of too fast for Chixin, but also it kind of works well with it because he has optional Kanto Plus and Flight. This kind of works with Ellery in that way. I still don't think he's like worse than A. And there are some maps where the enemy phases, like there's not that many characters that do great enemy phasing, and a lot of them rely on like their personals for it. Like, let's say you run out of personal like with Krinia or like with Jack or something, whatever. So I think there's a space for Chixin. But if I leave my favoritism outside, he probably is lower A or higher B at best. I do like him a lot though. I didn't use Thyme, but Light Magic's pretty good, right? Should we just put Thyme like near Asiel and just call it a day? Do we just do that? The magic units are probably higher than this, to be fair. I don't remember anything else about her and her skills. I remember her joining map, she's kind of like alright. Oh, it's just that weird personal, right? I forgot what it does. Someone please enlight and magic me. I need my water refilled. I'll give you guys a different track to listen to though while I AFK. Chixin and S tier failed. Tierless value minimal. Alright, be right back. Alright, as I was getting water, I read some funny comments. Let me see. Okay, this music is getting on my nerves. I'm gonna give you a different track. Alright, the Mage Killer. Mage Slayer? Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, again, I didn't really use this character, so if I underrate them, that's why. I could just like throw all the mages in A instead. That's where Lindros is after all. When you move up time a little bit, I'm down. I could throw a Basil up too. I think they join around the same time. I think he's like a little bit worse though. We can shuffle the mages a little bit, I guess. I still think Yvette is really good too, though. The best tank in the game with high damage on Serato with good defense and mount after promo. She didn't use him. I know. I would have liked to use more dark magic users. The one I used more than once is like Lilac. He wasn't too impressive because his magic stinks. But I did see all these good Tark Domes that I would have liked to use. Like Fortress 2 is like plus 8 defense. Pretty good. And there's more like that. So, yeah. Also on Nerissa, I sometimes use Dark Magic. Oh, I used the Xeo a lot with the Edict. Feels like a good unit. Seems so. Same chapter, yeah. I think it's like Basil's in the bottom right? And then Diamond's in the top doing stuff. But yeah, not enough room in the deployments, so there they were. I mean, literally like half this tier is just good magic units. They gotta go somewhere. Dark Magic Tower. True. Maybe that's why Tower deserves to stay up here. As he has Dark Magic. Maybe even better than her. Then I'll just move up some mages. All right, Nerissa. Ooh, can I put Nerissa in like A tier or S tier? I feel like you didn't use many, if any, magic users consistently. Even chapters where I deployed like Lindros, I didn't really use them as much as I should have probably. I was like trying to hold back a little bit too hard on using lunge and stuff. Also, mine didn't really have the durability to stay around where he was lunging. Ugh, I almost want to replay it. What magic users did I really use? I had a lot of like magic sword users. Like I had one on Gecko and Oriana all the time. And I guess Thunderclap is magical. And I guess Yosaf used magical weapons sometimes, but yeah. Yeah, Power Staff is just so good. Yeah, because the monster units just feel so unique, that's why I use them a lot. Like, I used Chicken a lot. I used all the chickens if you count them as monsters. Yosaf. Chickson if you count him as one, which kind of do. I used John for a fairly long time, I think. I don't know if you count Wisp as one. I don't know, they just had like really funny feel. I didn't really use all the monsters though. Here's a couple. Yeah, I use Nerissa a lot. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if like I feel like she joins a bit too late for to S, but availability is like the only reason why. I think she should be at the bottom of S, honestly. Power Staff is great. M Widewater kind of fixes the magic issue she kind of has. I honestly never really felt limited by her magic stat. I missed the magic axe. Yeah, that would have made it even better. Unlike Yosaf. I don't know who else is good at using the magic axe, but he was probably the main culprit of missing it. Maybe I'm overrating Nerissa a bit. Maybe she's not an entire tier over Lindros. Because there were a lot of turns where like the second turn didn't really do a whole lot for me. The Flying Mogul Rider and Sorbert. Is this one flying? Yeah, he is. That's right. He is. Dune I didn't really use. They seemed alright though. Probably not as good as Raylan, I would say. Not enough, not around enough? Question mark? Siphon Spear seemed good. She can give up like HP and like a turn to get another turn of movement, I think. I don't know if she really needs that to do anything useful. But I guess the damage she does to herself is not that bad. I didn't really use Sorbert that much near the end. I used him in his joining chapter, and then I used him for like an end game skip. He's in tower for +4 magic. Yeah. Oh, true, for tower as well. It's really big. D for Doom. Double time. Is it though? Because you can't really like get an extra attack off of it, right? You just get a bunch of movement off of it. Which, to be fair, I've hyped in the past. But at that point in the game... Raise strength but 0 magic. Does she have 0 magic? I don't remember. Seems alright. Let's throw her like, I don't know, top of C? Can we do that at least? Surely it's better than that. Surely she's bottom of B at the very least. Yeah, same. Same, Xander. Tazel, I think, is A tier though. Pretty flexible. There were like a lot of points in endgame where I felt like Tazel wasn't really hitting the benchmarks, but I didn't use up the S-rank bow, which could probably help him there. You know what this game didn't have that I found very odd is a hammer and staff to repair that S-rank bow. Why did the monsters get tiered? I just threw them in C and called it a day. Because it's too hard to figure out what to do with them. I thought mine was pretty good, but I wouldn't put him any higher than B tier. LTC from the FEV3 trailer a few years ago. Oh, the flag, that's true. Yeah, it's the worst kind of refresh you could have, right? The double time, because it consumes your turn. Like, the strongest thing about, like, Gale Force and stuff like that is you can use them to kill enemies multiple times. B. B for Tazel. I mean, I don't hate it as much as some other ideas I've had. It would trivialize it, to be fair. But the Warp Staff also isn't that great in this game where you can't skip chapters a whole lot. It's like, I remember like one warp skip I tried to do and it was hard. There's 2 warp skips in the ending chapters. Warp is alright in this game. I think what it would do is it will make Tazel better, because he can A, hammer and stuff, and B, he can repair that really good bow that he has. You can put him in B if you want. Maybe he is B. Does he join if you don't pay him early on? Because early on the gold was actually a little tight. This is fly across the entire map on the nice bongers. You're nuts. Well, what does she do when she flies across the map? Because her combat doesn't strike me as that amazing. Like, I can fly across the map with Wisp. Doesn't mean that Wisp is S tier. Again, I didn't use thing. What do we have? D tier. Let's start. The template started with 1. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know if we're gonna actually put someone there. Maybe the monsters will go there. Yeah, Kanto Staff, Magic Bows with the self-boosting. I didn't really use the self-boosting much because I found it hard to have turns to spare to do it. I was just like attacking things all the time. But hey, that shows that he's worth attacking with at least. I'll throw him like low A. Wisp. So I don't know if I always put like the optimal swords on her, but depending on how well I figured out what to do with her, she's either really good to get like a hit on anything I wanted on the map with a massive move, or she just like move somewhere, clicks right, and ends turn, and just kind of sits there. Great for getting a bunch of secrets though. I think Wisp was like the unit I probably deployed a lot, but probably made less actions with than most other characters I had deployed, just because her offense wasn't that great most of the time. But I wouldn't call her bad. I'd say she's like a B tier, probably. Really cool, quote-unquote, backstory, though. I don't know if I would even call it a backstory. There was like a lot of funky things I could do with Wisp, like pick people up and then drop them like 15 tiles away somewhere else. She probably sees using the LTC that I'm really curious about watching. Pretty fast, like good enough to one-round some things. I was honestly really surprised to see her one-round tower in game. Funny, I don't think she's that good. I want to say B, but tier is getting too crowded. I know, right? We could split up B in like B plus, B minus or something. Miracle. Yeah, once I started using that, I appreciated her a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to utilize these units for sure. I'll just like throw her in B somewhere. I don't really care. I'll just try to make Dune look relatively better for that one person who thinks she's better than what I'm giving her credit for. I mean, B is not a bad rating. That's like a 7 plus out of 10. I go seems good. I don't really like the things that rely on chip damage, like what Murky has, because I think especially when Igo joins, you're just one-running stuff a lot of the time. So having someone who relies on setting things up for him is bad. I do think there's a lot of ways to like one-run with him anyway, because I think he can use a bunch of different weapons, right? I think he has lances and axes at least, maybe even swords. He has like all weapon types basically, right? So you could probably set up a 1-on for him anyway. I just don't think that skill is very good. But Igo seems fine. I'd like throw him here probably. Just doesn't join very early, but he does exist. He's pretty good. And probably just more than Whipjack in your average playthrough. Built for 0%. I mean, sure, you can give him C if you think his availability makes him that bad, but I think he's pretty good. And so I don't really want to take... I think Whipjack so far is like the only unit besides like the monsters, maybe that's just not that great. I don't know. Kento Plus good. Foxbury, I feel like Foxbury joins a little underleveled. Yeah, I agree. Maybe this is for the mode I played, obviously. I have no idea what Misery Mode it feels like to play. What does Misery Mode apply again? Like minus... It's just a bunch of... It's unleveled enemies, right? So the enemies are stronger, but your own units are the same. Foxbury, like... I don't think they were bad when they joined, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to use them... Use her in her joining chapter. Then I benched her, and then she auto-leveled, and I didn't really feel a need to deploy her again, but I maybe could have and would have been fine. Where would you guys rank Foxbury? I was thinking C or D, or C or B, excuse me. I wouldn't put her in D. The PRF seems fun to use, although again I question how good it is to use the turn for that, where you can like have an attack or something. It could be nice to like pull people in a position where they can get forward by Ellery. Yeah, the refresh with the mini rescue is nice. Oh, I guess if it doesn't cost a turn, I forgot about that part. That you can bring someone over, then attack, and then that someone else can attack, and then they can get forward. Yeah, the limit with axis animation is very funny. B, alright, we'll throw in B. I do think Igo is better though. They're doing the change chapter, right? Oh, John. I'm so sorry. I had a lot of fun with John. They're not very dependable. Like, I've had chapters where John was like S tier, since they did get like Gil Force plus guaranteed crit or guaranteed Oko or something. They just like I think in a tower map, like not tower, but the tower chapter with the boxes that go down the floors. I think I got the best John ever there, and they were really good. But it was still a little hard to keep up. In other chapters, he just got like I don't know, Lancebreaker or something. I think John is alright, but I probably have to throw him in like the bottom of B tier too, if I'm being realistic. I do think John did have really good HP and speed. They didn't need the skills to be super good. I mostly felt like John was good to throw in 4-ways, because I knew that if I don't do it, she's just gonna fall behind. And it was a good excuse to just mutate, and then use the turn after. Let's throw her in bottom of B as well while we're here. Joyful Joe, I honestly don't think I was that great. Yeah, the more HP opponent is 99 is pretty good, but that's not a John skill that she has, right? She can get that. Bench, but John, I think Joyful Joe is the worst chicken. But occasionally tanky 1-2 range is nice. It's not that common in this game to have tanky 1-2 range, so it's something he can do. The problem is, I think, with Joyful Joe is that it's just physical defense, not magical. So if I'm looking for someone to like defend a point with a bunch of mixed enemies, then I'd much prefer having like Chixla in there, for example, over Joyful Joe. I never really found myself using this, except for the Route Split. In Route Split, I had some trouble getting good 1-2 range tanky units, so I used Joyful Joe occasionally, but I do think Joyful Joe is worse than Empress and Vermilion, and also worse than other units I have listed. So I'd probably put Joyful Joe like bottom of B somewhere as well. Like maybe you can just put all the units here. He is JoJo, that's true. You're making compelling arguments. It is still a unit with Kanto Plus, but I believe JoJo without the transformation isn't really that great. Yeah, it doesn't kill anything. I remember they had trouble doubling as well. I think they had a bit more HP defense than like Vermilion has at that point. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a bit of a cop-out to just like start throwing units in the low B here. But that's what I honestly think Joyful Joe should be. Okay, Hagen Dyer. I don't think anyone really uses Hagen Dyer. I deployed him like twice, maybe. He's alright. When I needed like Luck Touch. Or just like a fast guy with a sword and a bow and had no better units to deploy. It was alright. But what are like his special qualities again besides those things I just named? Because I can't remember any, and I might even throw him in C. Also C tier. Jojo or Hagen Dyer? Yeah, maybe we're gonna have to split B and B plus and B minus, honestly. I think we're gonna do that. We have too many units in this tier now, and there's definitely a gap between them. I agree. Let's start with that, right? So where do we start it? I want to say like around U maybe? So maybe like this? We can do Joyful Joe and C if you want. There we go. There's a C tier, alright. Done. Personal's too complicated for me. Oh, Hagen Dyer? I don't remember Hagen Dyer's personal. I'll throw Hagen Dyer in C until further protests. Jack of all trades. I don't remember what that means. I remember it coming up though. Lilac I honestly think might be C tier 2, just because he isn't around a whole lot. He doesn't really kill things. The duplicate thing and having a support with your summon is really funny though, like really entertaining things, but I felt like the two of them combined did like what one unit did most of the time when I had them here. It's alright though. It's alright. I enjoyed him. I know it's a magic unit, by the way. Like that's the valid argument for boosting him up. Crit with boosts. Avoid both with sword. Are you sure you're not thinking of her? Demst? Orin had the Seahawk Lance. And, you know, just do good personal. More damage depending on how much your weapon outweighs the enemies, I believe. And then just a lot of shit going on. That was pretty good for a while. Did end up benching it once I got Guard, because they kind of did the same thing, but Guard is like insane. Oh. That's alright. Not better than what I used God, but it made him alright. I'm gonna throw Orin in like B+? Pretty good offense, honestly. But I wouldn't put him over all the mages that joined earlier, probably. Maybe like this. Maybe get away with this, maybe? Just to keep the tier on one row. I think of anima rank? No. I think Hagen Dyer or Lilac is just dark. Nothing else. I remember checking that multiple times. Half is magic with defense with swords. Okay, that is complicated. Yeah, the only reason I'm putting him like this low is because the mages are also really good. And because Orin joined late, and I did end up like benching him, which to me is an indication that you're not like, you can't be that good if I end up benching you. But he was really good when he was around at first. I used him for like, I want to say like 5 to 10 chapters in a row. He has a refresh. Yeah, but that's only when he like rescues or drops things. I guess it's possible to do like some kind of smart rescue chain where you give Orin an extra turn. How would you usually do that? You rescue someone with someone else, and then you give to Orin so he can drop him, and then he gets an extra turn. But then he spends his turn dropping someone closer, which is like, it's not terrible, but it feels like you set up other people's action economy so that you can say Orin got an extra turn. You can like have Wisp grab someone, because Wisp isn't usually doing something on turn 1, and give that person to Orin and he drops the person clear. I just think it's good that he has the Seahawk flag, and it's really strong one-shot offense. His savior as well. I don't remember him having it, but I might not have checked very properly. The other thing about rescuing is that if you rescue someone else that you have deployed, then that unit cannot take an action for the turn that they're dropped unless you like refresh them, but then you could use that refresh for someone else. So, yeah, someone else, you have an extra action for Orin, but you lost an action somewhere else. So I don't think it's fair to say that he has like a free extra turn. But he is good. Ivatne, I did find it pretty easy to get 100% crit. On Ivatne, I just didn't think they were around for long enough to be really relevant. I play them for like one more chapter, I think, when they were around. They're fine, but I wouldn't tier them very highly. Like, it's kind of the same thing as Igo, maybe? I mean, just in general, Magic's good, of course, but... No, not that fantastic. This track is a little intense. What else we got here? Zio. I do think Zio is really good. I'm gonna put him at the top of B+ for now. I did have a lot of, maybe even low A. I don't know if it's too late for this unit to join to get an A, but I did find it like very good at low brain, just coming in there somewhere. Maybe put him even higher, honestly. Dark Magic is his main cell. Let's put him over tower too. Like the little amount of effort I was able to put into Zio, and just say, okay, you go in there, you've tanked this like massive group of enemies, and like maybe even one round them is great. It's a little annoying that you kind of have to choose between setting up your next self-refresh buff and using a good weapon that can double. But he does all those things, and he can choose what is best for a situation. Yvonne can be decent tank in the last chapter, so she needs a speed boosting tone to stop her from getting doubled. Yeah, or just one shot, I guess. She doesn't get +100 crit on enemy face, right? No for Rhodesia. Yeah. If it's against the idea of being a landlord, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We can put him over Chixon for that, I agree. Chixon's a good chef, though. But now he's next to, you know, fellow chefs, so I think they would both appreciate it more. I agree with you. Well, Betrayer is a normal unit. This still makes him unit compared to the rest of the cast. I'm glad he is in there. The 5 range full heal Nosferatu tome is better than doubling. I mean, you can argue that. I think it's good to double, better than not to double, but I also think it's better to have 5 range than not to have 5 range, sure. Things that's a tier. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna finish in a regular-ish time. Unari, I think a lot of people said they didn't really actively want to use. I found like a surprising amount of use for Unari, but I did see that her stats weren't the greatest, and I didn't really use the 0 speed a whole lot. I do appreciate that the developer put Unari right next to like an assassin that she could just one run at base just to show what she can do. And I did take advantage of that. I also used her like a couple times. You just reduce an enemy to 0 and then have someone else kill it. Nobody needed a turn of Unari's herself to set that up, so it's pretty cool. So we can throw her like around here somewhere, I guess. I think she's better than Ivatne, worse than Igo, if I had to guess. What's her name again? It was kind of complicated. Dudai? I didn't really use her. I think I fought like a couple things with her. The massive amount of S ranks gives her a ton of options though. Like so many options. But I don't remember how good her stats were. I think it was like kind of assassin-like stats. Which is why it seems like it should be incredible. Honestly, I feel like I end up being overloaded staff blood. Yo, a raid! Why is that so tiny? Can I make it bigger? No, I can't even move it. But thanks for the raid! Let me see who I have to thank here. And make that a bit bigger. Because I'm gonna forget if I don't. Suzubai. Mecha navigate stream. Dino Nichan. Thanks for the raid. How's it going? I thought he was playing SS. No idea what his rank is for, but Green Chicky. Yeah, chicken. We just finished playing Cerulean Crescent, which is a fan-made Fire Emblem game. But it was made in Sacred Stones, which is why I have Twitch just pretend it's Sacred Stones. I am gonna play Sacred Stones somewhat soon though. In a way. But welcome in. Hope you had a good time. But yeah, this is probably not gonna make a whole lot of sense if you didn't play this or even watch. Gaining avoid. Our personal skill to get plus 58 to avoid anything she picks. Okay, I found the umbral weapons pretty underwhelming, so this is probably kind of underwhelming too. I'll throw in a lower end of B. How much move does she have? Like 6 or 7, right? Why is that so tiny? Oh, you're right. That does sound kind of rude. Yes. Okay, let me actually fix that thing. That was so tiny. No, it's tiny because I said it to be that tiny. The font is tiny. Sacred Stone. Sure. Yeah, we'll call it that. Okay, I made it bigger. Okay. Betrayer. I mean, that ending was pretty cringe. You killed freaking several characters that I liked. His story is kind of peak though. What do we think of his personal? I think it was really funny, but it's pretty rare that I'm able to send someone out on their own to do their thing. It's like guaranteed crit and hit when he's like not within 5 tiles of his allies, right? So when nobody's looking, he becomes really competent. In hindsight, that is a genius bit of foreshadowing. Enjoy the lurk. Let's throw him like here somewhere. There are some good axes to work with, but it's hard to like make him do things all the way on his own when he's not like guaranteed to survive or anything. Because I found it hard to, in the density of the joining map and probably several maps after to have him actually be out on his own without him dying. Better for Kalugo because he can fly. Well, speaking of, does he have a similar skill? He does have a similar skill, right? How does this work again? I do think Kalugo is better than a lot of units in C right now just because Kanto Plus is so good. Getting some music in here. S plus rank for the sole fact that it's so white on a mogul. True. But let's say we're trying to tier according to multiple criteria. Ballistas. Still, I've never fired a ballista in this game, I feel like. Maybe betrays better foreshadowing. Ah, no. That's too subtle for me. Subtext is for losers. Plus 6 damage to enemies within 3 spaces of an enemy. No, enemies within... Oh, right. He, like, ganks people when they're alone. That's fine. It really depends on, like, what map you're on. A lot of maps that's, like, trivial to do. A lot of maps that's, like, have to be the last one who hits someone. Seems fine. Still joins really late, though, so... throw him somewhere in B+, I guess. How about here? B-, I mean... this guy sucks, right? So we'll have him beat B tier. I'm assuming he sucks. This chicken's really good, the green chicken. What's her name? Empress. Like, this saved my butt, because I actually had a lot of trouble with Oriana early on, with, like, the characters I had there were not, like, used a lot. 15 damage is a lot. That's true. Gills basically chicks in but doesn't fly, doesn't have stats until the end of the game. Alright, growth by the might only be D. Yeah, maybe. Oh, alright, growths. Empress is A tier. Which tier though? No, I don't even mean A tier. I think they aren't around a whole lot, but the duplicate thing is so strong. Being able to like summon a clone, hit an enemy with it, and then do it again, or summon a clone to like just use the summon command basically from Sacred Stones. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. Not around a whole lot. How about like similar to Zeo? Because they're around for similar-ish times. I think Zeo's around for a couple more chapters. So like here somewhere is fine, right? This guy's kind of whatever. Pretty high staff rank though, so good staff utility if you need that. Light rank is good. But movement is bad, right? So we'll throw him in like C, like top of C. I think Whipjack is better. Lilac, maybe somewhere around here. You know, when he joined, people weren't super enthusiastic. I didn't really use the option to convert to the Onomancy much. I do know he's really good combat as that, though. Oh yeah, when they get Miracle, they get even better. That's true. Empress is great. Excellent chicken. I thought Maurice was really good in late game too. Not around a whole lot. Had to give him some favoritism to get speed level ups, but he gained a lot of XP at once. And the 3 range was like really flexible on the swords. So I don't think he's as good as like Empress or Zio, but still like really good for the short amount of time he was there. So maybe we can put him like high-ish B or low B. Yeah, it's hard to justify deploying Sorbet. I don't think A tier is like high. I think it's too high for Maurice. I think the early mages are maybe better, so like maybe around here or something. Maurice really isn't around enough. We work on the physical half, have the paths give him 99 damage with higher HP. He's at 80 fantastic filler. Yeah, it's just the movement at that point is really hard to make up for. I suppose you can warp him and just kill things with 80 HP if you really want it. Alright, guard! Guard is really good. If we could put... I mean, she joins really late. Like, really, really late. But she is insane. Put Maurice with Gil? Nah. Nah. I don't have to punish people for their character. Come on. Do we think Guard is better than Orin? Would you rather have Guard than Orin? Would you rather play the game without Guard or without Orin? I'd rather play the game without Guard. Or I'd rather play the game without Orin than without Guard, considering how good Guard is late game. In cutscenes, but still, yeah. I do gotta punish that availability though. They're around for like 5 chapters. But oh my god. So good. The flag. The miracle. Miracle's so busted in this game. Who else is Miracle again? I forgot. But Guard has it. And Guard is busted with it. I think Guard is better than Orin and most of these units then. We can throw Guard low A. I don't remember how I rank Athos in FE7. I think usually like mid tiers. I think Guard is a bit better than Athos. So this seems justified. Maybe even here. Yeah, more available Athos. It's more like a Laguz Royal when you think about it. Guard is like Misala or something, or Tabarn. You're already destroying everything. Well, Guard takes it to another level. Guard can do a lot of things that other units just cannot do. Hellicent, not around a whole lot, but at least she's on both routes. And the rally plus dance is of course really good. I would say like a good B+ or something. Low B+. Oh yeah, Whisper's, that's her personal weapon, but sure, yeah. You guys want... I feel like Hellicent's B tier, I don't remember where. Like, the dance is really nice, and the rally is really nice. I don't know how big of the difference the rally made, but probably a couple big differences. Also, the option to just use a morale module for a free turn if rally's not good enough or dance is not good enough. Can just be good. Like just straight up +5 attack on everyone if you haven't used the morale module yet. Or the other thing, the give everyone +1 turn thing is pretty good too. If you haven't used it by then. I think it's 10 move. No, it's better than that. She has 5 move twice. So you can move in different directions. I know you're trying to say it's good, but I'm just trying to say it's even better than having 10 move. Bye, Hobbs. See you around. See you Saturday, maybe. Yeah, she does augment player phase. And there's probably somewhere where that +2 every stat is good. Hi, Purple Mage. We'll throw her along with Maurice. They have similar availability. They both do really different things. I think she's better than Maurice, probably. That's the last one. Okay, now they're on the board. Any massive objections anywhere? Any character that stands out as, like, not as good as it looks? Or not as bad as it looks? For me, the big sticking points are I'm not sure if Nerissa deserves S tier. Not sure if he deserves A tier. But looking at the availability of the other characters, maybe he does. Yeah, I'm going to play some more Romax probably. Not immediately, though. Yeah, I think Raylan might be too high, too. I do think Cerulean was good, but I also remember her damage being like quite a bit short, so maybe she should like fall down a little bit. Like below the mages or something. That's similar to my cutoff point. John... I think John is appropriately tiered. John was really fun to use, but I wouldn't say John is great. Like, better than this. Flying Light Mage. Can Kaluga use Light Magic? It's pretty good. Minz is A tier. Make your case, I say. I think Minz is too slow, personally. I think he has some semblance of a speed growth, but... With 50 move, visiting houses could go higher. Could, yes. I can move this like a little bit. That's fine. I just think all these other units in B- also have like good arguments for being good. FE12 one is still in testing. I got a new patch the other day, but I've been busy planning the FE8 PME race. But 3 Houses is coming to a close, so I'll probably do the FE12 playthrough soon. Like, it'll be after this playthrough's done. Same speed growth as Ellery. Well, his base is much worse, right? Or is it not? I guess if I think he's really good enough to... because of axes, I think he's really good. Sure, you can go over to Sword, I guess, and over Rykard. Okay, well, we can put Kalugo in, like, here if you want. Jixen's a constant flyer. Yeah. The problem with Jixen is, like I said, his offense isn't great, other than Thunderclap. I think he's faster at base. Well, let me put it this way. Ellery's not here for her speed. Yeah, no, I wouldn't just ditch it like that. I would at least let my patrons know if I wasn't playing FE12 but better. It is happening. It just took longer than I planned to. I was initially planning on playing it before the 3 Houses playthrough. But then it took more time to make. And plan. I think some people could probably argue that the chicken should not be S tier. Like, someone did argue that. But I think the chicken is good. Or he's been in Ellery. Sure. I mean, I saw you frequently just use Ellery for like 1 extra turn on other units. So that's more understandable from your POV. I guess I'd argue that if Ellery wants to, she can also get an extra turn for herself instead of another unit by just using the Seahawk flag. Basil should be A. Well, why do you think Basil specifically and not Asiel and Time as well? Bro is tanky though, I'll admit that. Is he joined early enough for that to be the case? Sure, I guess. I do agree with the analysis that like magic is really, really insane in this game, but also swords, lances, and axes and bows all have really good traits in this game too. You could reasonably like, if I had to tier these units along with like, if I put them in a big tier list, right? I'd probably put all these units. I don't know if I put them like tiers above the other units from other games. Like, if you compared these units to FE7 Kent or something, they'd all be higher than Kent, I think. Mountain good combat. He gets a mountain promoting? That's interesting. So he becomes Zio's class? Dark Knight or whatever? I don't remember what his class is called, but I know he gets a mount. It's pretty goated. I'm assuming that gets Kento Plus as well. Zio's log ranked by itself? I don't know, I don't have a log. There are no logs, there's no receipts. I don't even remember like how good Asiel and the log were in combat, generally speaking. They're okay. I remember laughing at them. both for being funny and like helpful in that journey. The journey chapter was pretty difficult, I remember. A lot of enemies. So her help was appreciated. Once that Ellery needs setup, which usually requires extra units to set up a kill for her, so refresh the situation. Effectively refreshes 3 units when considering the setup. Well, okay, so if Ellery needs a unit to set up a kill for her, there's a chance there's someone else there that also cannot kill that unit that they're ganging up on, right? Like, say, Guilan or Lindros or something can't kill an enemy. So they're still just hitting an enemy combined for a kill that you needed 2 units for anyway. And then the 3 other units in that formation can go bunga harder. I do agree I probably made things more difficult for myself than it needed to be sometimes with Ellery, but I also found that really satisfying. Ellery was speed screwed and his setup is using 2 units to give move to until 4. Well, even if you're using 2 units, it's still like way worth. But you know, you go for I played both on this stream. Also, like, Ellery can just be a powerhouse. Like, you don't have to do the 4-way refresh. You can do a 3-way refresh while also OHKOing something with the Phaeon, which you can do 3 times per chapter. So if you prefer to think of Ellery as someone who kills kills 1 enemy in 1 hit, and refreshes 3 others, that's also a possibility. I just did the 4-way because I hate myself, I guess. They also just have so many tools to set up a 4-way in some way that I didn't even use properly. You can use rock stonks for it. Like, it doesn't have to be a unit that goes in that position either. Okay, but even in an escape map, wouldn't you rather push 4 more units towards the escape point? Or towards more enemies to get there than 1 unit with Oriana? Or 2 units with Oriana if you count herself? Also, like, part of what makes Oriana so good is that the unit you refresh with her, like, say you have like a really good unit, like, I don't know, your Vermilion is trained or something, you can have a unit, have Vermilion kill something, dance for it with Oriana, have Vermilion kill something else, then have Ellery refresh them again. I think worst case scenario, Ellery is about as good as Oriana, and then there's a bunch of ways to make her better. Basil becomes Inquisitor. He gains a mount from his promotion, but doesn't get any other weapon or staff. Okay. I think Zio got other kinds of magic, he just didn't use them. Good night, Elico. I do agree Oriana's easier to use, but like I said, I think Ellery just has a higher ceiling. That ceiling might not always be needed, but I think if you were to go by like a higher difficulty, you would probably find that Ellery's additional potential is worth. In this difficulty, you're probably closer, but I would still say Ellery's better. Left behind after the first refresh. I've had it happen occasionally. It depends on how the map is structured, I guess. I mostly have Ellery in mind after her promotion. It's true that before promotion I had that happen a couple times, I think. After promotion he has the mount, and so you can always refresh all other units, I think. And come out on top. Alternatively, you can use one of your refreshes to be used on like Warp or Rescue, if that is an issue. Or even like Smite from Francisca. Depends on how it goes. I see your argument, I just choose to reject it. Alright, I'll leave this up. I think I see no massive objections here. I can move Basil up a little bit to appease the one chatter. I thought Basil was better than this. But I think I'm good for tonight. It's already been an above average lengthy stream. This Saturday, I'm playing a 3 houses draft race practice with Justin and maybe a couple of other teammates. I forgot if they were going to be around for the next relay series. So we're going to practice 3 houses / learn it. I'm only playing a portion of the game, so I don't have to learn the whole routes. We'll see if we go through the whole game, or if we even are able to in 3 hours. We'll see. I think there'll be a tier list video with someone more experienced, like with Souls of the Forest. Maybe. I don't know who I'd invite, though. But we'll see. Ooh, oh yeah, there's sequels to this too that I can play. I might try that out too. We'll see. But yeah, that's the plans for Saturday, and then we'll see what I do after. I haven't decided yet. I might play some Hades, might play some other games in between before I figure out my next bigger project. We'll see you guys around. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. It's been a blast. Super fun ROM hack. Would recommend. 10 out of 10. Might make a review video. Bye.